Welcome back to another episode of the Tier 1 podcast, live edition on a Thursday night. With us, we have SEAL Team 6 operator, retired, of course, and Yale faculty member, James Hatch.
Yeah.
On the couch, we got Magnet, as always, from Lion Arms, and making it all happen to the best of his abilities behind the screens, Drew Tucker. It's a Thursday Night Live for the boys. Let's go. All right, thanks for sticking around, guys. Let's get right into it. Drew, to the super chats. We shall waste no time.
All right. Sully1234 says, what do you think of Trump getting 5 draft deferments for Vietnam, not serving in the military?
Not a good look. Not a good look. I will tell you this. Don't ask me about things I did when I was 18, when I turned 60 to 70 something. I don't think what you did as an 18-year-old defines you. But what say you?
No, I agree with you. I think, it was the thing. Like Dick Cheney, conservative, popular guy also. There's some folks that were Democrats that got deferments. It was really mostly about economic.
Yeah,
where you were on that. So the thing I think that was a trend. If you could get out of going to war, you would. And you had the money and the means. Yeah. And I get it. But what I have a hard time with is the guy was born on third base and he acts like he hit a fucking triple. Guy has never been in a fucking fist fight. I mean, you know what? When he stood up after getting winged, I was like, okay. Okay.
All right. There you go. Give him credit for that for sure.
Yeah.
But you're right. He was born on third. Let's not act like he wasn't. I'll give you a different spin.
I'm here for it.
Of course, he does some pompous things and says some pompous things.
Only every day.
He's also done some really good things.
Like
he has flown in the Gulf War. He chartered a personal plane, bought a personal plane to get the troops home. He has given business. The NCAA, the NAACP used to love Trump. He used to do things for black businessmen all the time. They loved him.
Yeah.
When he found out Rosa Parks, I believe it was Rosa Parks, when she couldn't pay her rent at the end of her life, he paid her rent.
I don't think that's true.
No, I said it. So it's
and it's on the fucking internet now.
Right.
And it's true.
I just made the Wikipedia page.
Somebody is good on their phone. Find that out. It wasn't President Trump that helped Rosa Parks. If it was, I have a nightmare.
No, that's true.
I'm talking smack.
He taught Bill Gates how to read when Bill Gates was a young poor child,
right?
And didn't have the needs,
right? I mean, and he knows more about pretty much everything than anybody at any given moment.
Correct. Joking aside, with all those ridiculous facts, he does do a good. If that were true, if he truly believed that, and maybe he does truly believe it, I think he's pretty pompous. Don't get me wrong, but he still surrounds himself with good people, like any good leader should.
I would disagree with that as well.
You don't think Elon Musk and Doge was a good thing?
No, I think that wasn't actually a very serious effort. I think it was mostly visual. That there's no long-term commitment to it, and you know how that is.
Right.
Like if you're going to do something that major, and as I recall, he had a falling out with Elon Musk, and they had a breakup, and it was very public, and then they came back together, right? So I don't think that was handled very well. I don't think it was handled in an efficient way. I think they ended up firing a lot of people that they had to go back and rehire because it was just I mean, the idea that we should make government more efficient is certainly a good idea.
Right.
Being an idiot about it and blunt force trauma and just saying, the people I don't like, I don't get. And I also believe this. It's not as much about Trump because people had to vote for him. Mm-hmm. But I think part of the reason that Trump is in power, and this is my opinion, is that we're a nation that's the pendulum swings, right? So we had this whole George Floyd thing, and it was okay to go down and burn down businesses and riot and cause fucking mayhem, but you weren't allowed to go to church because it was COVID, right? You see, so there was a double standard, and the pendulum swung really far one direction. I think a lot of what has happened under the Trump administration is a reaction to that. And I think he's into symbology not as much as he is into actually helping people.
I use it as a joke, the Rosa Parks thing, because I knew that was a real story. I knew it wasn't Trump, but that actually did happen. You know who did it?
Somebody did.
The owner of Little Caesars.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the pizza guy. Yep,
the pizza guy of all people.
There's no doubt Trump's done a lot of good things, and he's done. He's helped people here and there. Of course, he's also sent a lot of businesses into the ditch.
You don't think, and not to, again, well, I mean, it's a political argument, so now it's political.
No,
you don't think the Democrats sent more businesses into the ditch because of COVID? COVID absolutely wrecked
right, but that's not really
this
the point.
Country's economy.
And this is a common thing in our political discussion right now. If I say something about Trump, well, the Democrats, okay, let's say they did.
That's true.
Right. I mean, okay.
That's the one thing I get heated about.
Do I think...
And it's not a Democrat thing, and not to cut you off.
No.
I get heated about... I'd be heated if the Republicans did that.
Yeah.
Our response to COVID just crushed Americans.
I agree, and I think...
Needlessly. So I do get a little emotional about that.
But I do believe... So do I. And I do believe, man, you should have seen Yale during that. Holy shit, man. Right? So... But I think what happened was there were people who genuinely thought it was the right thing to do. I don't think anybody was actually going out of their way to try to fuck anybody over, except when you are a person who owns a business where these riots happen and they just let motherfuckers come in and burn your shit down. I think it's hard to come back from that. But let me get back to the Trump stuff.
Yeah.
You and I would consider myself very positive law enforcement person, backer. And when I hear people say, oh, Trump backs law enforcement, I got to fucking call bullshit on that. Because the fucking guys who got their fucking heads bashed in and people almost got killed on January 6th were cops. And he's let people out of jail, pardoned them, and he's trying to raise money to let them defend themselves or whatever, bail themselves out somehow. That's not pro-law enforcement. What he's saying is, you're in my fucking gang, you can break the law.
I did an episode on that. So I did a deep dive on this. And I can't sit here and rail against BLM and be like, yeah, January 6th is okay. Anything that any of them did against law enforcement, I won't tolerate. But what happened a lot was if you were just there, you got a blanket punishment, and guys were in jail for up to years trying to defend themselves. There was a lot of people. The blanket punishment. You go look into this, and it'll blow your mind. It didn't just because you were there. It did not start out as a riot, and some people showed up late after the riot was open, and just doors were open, and most people peacefully walked in.
Yeah, for sure.
But then they did a blanket punishment. I want the people I think we have the technology. There's cameras. The people who did things wrong, let's punish them. But we can't do a blanket punishment.
Well, we did a blanket fucking pardon, right? So maybe that's you know what I mean? Like, so it's difficult for me to hold, he's a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. We're all hypocrites. But here's the thing. I don't believe, this is the bottom line with him. I don't believe he gives a fuck about making the country united. I think he wants the country to look the way he believes it should look. And I don't think he gives a fuck about what other people think. Genuinely. And I don't think that's the best look for the leader of our country.
Let me ask you a follow-up question then.
Yeah.
Do you think his intentions are good? Do you think he truly wants to make America great again? Do you think he makes decisions that he believes are best for the country?
No. I believe he makes decisions. I mean, how many deals do his son's businesses have with the DOD? How did Elon Musk's Starlink double, triple their rates to the DOD during, and nobody even mentioned it? I don't trust the guy. I think he's a liar. I don't trust him at all. And I think he wraps himself in the flag and talks tough. and he talks too much and causes a lot more problems than he solves. I genuinely believe that. And listen, I love my country, and I want to look. There's people around him that I think are good people.
Right.
I don't think Pete Hegseth is one of those. I think that dude's way out over his skis.
And I know. I get it. I'm not looking for
a
a tit for tat. You know. And this is where I usually like draw the line, of sorts. And
I'm here for it.
And you're vocal about this, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, there ain't
Well, we gotta be
right. There's not a thing we're about to talk about tonight that it gets awkward in the garage after this. Not a thing. Were you just as upset about Hunter Biden's
100%.
dealings? And that's all I ask.
100%.
That's all I ask. I just
Bullshit is bullshit.
That's right. I just ask, and if so, now let me walk it back for just a second.
And I wondered, the Hunter Biden thing have anything to do with our relationship with Ukraine? Right? I mean, you spent some time in Ukraine.
It can't hurt it.
Well, hold on. Or could it? You see where I'm going? Like, if you're a person who thinks that what Hunter Biden was doing was not on the up and up.
No.
Right. You see where I'm going?
Right. The stats, there's
But see,
there's no way, there's no way that can be defended, but no one seemed to, the news organizations truly didn't really carry that story a whole lot.
Again, we talked about that earlier.
We did on the recording. Yeah.
What do people want to hear?
That's right.
They want to be pissed off. And look, I think too with the president, man, like, and he's our president, right?
That's right.
But I have kids in my class that are RTC kids, and they're stepping out, and I worry about that. I don't think he's got the best top people running business, And I don't think his motivations are where they should be.
I'll tell you why I like Hegseth.
Are you serious?
Sure.
Wow, cool.
Sure. He's at least bringing back common sense standards to the military. And for that alone,
Agreed.
I appreciate.
I do too. But that's where he ends. Like, come on, man. You were in the service for how long?
20 years.
So a guy shows up, and the first thing they do is talk about PT and haircuts. You're like, okay, this guy's a fucking amateur. They want to fly the generals and admirals in for all over so they can get up on stage and dance around and talk about haircuts and PT. They could have done that with an email, man.
For sure. And here's where I differ a little bit about that. And which is this. I take a different perspective on it. I think it's how pathetic has our military gotten where we actually need to talk about haircuts and physical fitness that has become to somewhat a standard. And I'm not anti.
No way to argue that.
Right. And I'm not anti-general. I'm not.
Yeah, no, I got you.
But I will tell you, the higher up I got, and the more time I got to spend with generals, the less I was enamored by generals. Some of them were great.
Yeah.
Some of them, okay.
Yeah.
They got there somehow. And so these people will call everyone else below them and be like, hey, I am the general. You are going to come to me, and we're going to have this meeting. When something's wrong, they have the ability to do that. I'm not saying they all do, but some do. I see what you're saying, yeah. Well, guess what, generals and admirals? You have a boss too, and he can call you in.
Yeah.
And if you as a general thought something was so important that you needed a cultural readjustment, and then your subordinates went off and complained about it, that general heads would roll.
Yeah, I got you on that.
So I think they've gotten so big, you forgot you have a boss too, and you can't get lippy about your boss either because you wouldn't allow that to happen under your watch. I guess that's my point on that.
Yeah, man, I guess I'd need to kind of be in the mood for those discussions, but I think.
But to bring this around real quick, to bring it full circle, you want to know my biggest problem is?
Do tell.
This is always where I bring it back together. Is Trump great? No, I voted for him. I thought he was the lesser of two evils. Is what I thought.
I just didn't vote.
I don't blame you.
And I kind of do. I feel bad.
Was Kamala great? No. Was Biden great? No. And now we can go all the way back to, because I'm talking about who Trump ran against. Was Hillary great? No. My biggest problem is we are still, and I know we agree on this, we're the greatest nation in the world. And those are our two options.
Right.
Trump and Hillary,
Yeah.
Trump and Biden, Trump and Kamala Harris. That is what we should be more upset about. Why is that what we have as a
Money.
nation to choose between?
I think it's money. I think it's Citizens United. That's what most of the smart people would say. When we made money become a part of a big part of the politics, I think that's, I mean, think about it. If a guy like Trump can say, hey man, yeah, I don't need a paycheck, I'll be the president. Yeah, we'll get this stuff personally financed. I mean, I can see that. I don't believe there's going to be any way for elections to be fair with that amount of money involved.
There has to be reform.
Yeah.
And who can put money into our elections?
And listen to us, like we know fuck all.
And these, I just know enough to be dangerous. And we've got to do away with these PACs and super PACs and who can have money as influence. But unfortunately, the only people that can make the law to do that are the people who benefit from our corrupt system. And so,
but there's good people out there trying to fight both sides of the aisle. Like, I'm a big fan of Mark Kelly. He's a friend of mine personally, and he's like, he doesn't take corporate money. He doesn't.
I love that.
He's a really good. You should have him on, man.
Okay,
you'd like him. He's a funny dude.
Drew, let's go back to another super chat.
All right, hey, Jimmy, did you experience negativity at Yale due to being a veteran? You make friends with people you didn't expect to.
Yeah, man, that is a really emotional thing. So I got there, I was scared to death, and I thought, oh man, these guys are gonna think I'm a monster, and they're gonna fuck. I mean, look at my arms, tattoos. I'm not the kind of guy that shows up at Yale unless it's like as a, I don't know, somebody coming to tow somebody's car or something. So my first day there, I'm walking in between my first and second classes, and there's a bunch of dudes working on the church on Hill House Avenue, which is this really pretty street at Yale. And they look like us. They're dudes with tattoos and smoking and shit. And I walk up and I'm like, hey man, can I bum a smoke? And the guy's like, sure. Like, what are you doing here? I'm like, it's my first day of classes. And they're like, what? And I'm their age. So I was definitely not part of what the normal undergraduate situation looked like.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, I look like this, and the kids are going to be kind of intimidated by me. But man, on Veterans Day, that first semester, I had some of the kids had walked up and been nice and said, hey, introduce themselves. And I'd started to kind of hang out with them, and I really enjoyed it because they were from everywhere. And anyway, this one kid, his name's Nick, and he's still a dear friend. And he ran for state office in Pennsylvania in a very MAGA hat kind of district, and he is not one of those. And I told him I'd ride a skateboard to campaign for him. So I actually went. But his name's Nick Jacobson. And in fact, he's getting ready to start at the Yale Law School. And I love this kid. But he walked up to me. I didn't know him. And he handed me a card. And I was shocked. And I'm like, what is it? And I didn't really make the connection with Veterans Day. I hadn't said anything to anybody. I just kind of maintained a low profile. And I opened the card, and he had all the kids in this directed studies cohort that I was the first non-traditional student to be in. They signed it thanking me for my service.
That's awesome.
And I fucking cried like a little kid, man. Like, I didn't know these kids even knew I was there, except like, I remember the first day I showed up in class, they're like, hey, are you the tech guy? I'm like, well, no.
Yeah.
No, I did not ever, no one has ever been disrespectful to me about my service. There are people I've had people say to me flat out, I totally disagree with blah, 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 but you're a human being and you did what you thought was the right thing. And I've never had any shit over it, ever. No one's ever been disrespectful to me at Yale or even remotely rude,
Love to hear that. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had some of the students in my class square me away.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, there's some funny stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
What's we got?
Let's see. It says, Soli says, Drew, any Bible verses of taking care of animals? Yeah, there's quite a few. So the first is in Genesis. It says that we're to have dominion over the creatures, and that dominion is stewardship. Proverbs 12:10 says that the righteous takes care of his beast, and the wicked, their mercy is cruel. And then there's a lot of laws in the Old Testament law that says if you see your neighbor or your brother's animal in trouble, you're not to walk away from that. By law, under the Old Testament, you were to help your neighbor's animals if they were in trouble. So there you go.
That's cool.
Drew, you know too much.
Yeah.
That's why my brother's
why I'm
pulling
fat.
animal Bible verses.
Hey, man, we got it.
I love it. I love it.
All right, the Prussian. All right, it's good to see you, man. Who did the halibut on the poop deck?
Who did the halibut on the poop deck? Does that make sense to anyone?
Maybe to the Navy guy.
James?
The halibut? Make us Google stuff.
Oh, the Prussian. Do me a solid. See if you can reword it or explain that one, please. Who did the halibut? All right.
The poop deck is the lower deck on the boat, right?
I don't know. All right.
Where the poop goes.
We're moving on.
Anyway. All right, help us out. All right, just another 11 Bravo says paying my late fee, just left the range. Sorry.
Actually, you're just fine for being late today. He doesn't even know we had issues.
Dude.
That's how late he is.
That's right.
All right. Daniel Hayawatsi says he needs a Tier 1 piss bottle. Inside podcast joke.
Yep.
The real Justin says Jizro the Super Seal sits when he pees.
Oh, gosh.
More inside jokes on the Tier 1 podcast. Soli1234 says, imagine you're back to the time after your shot. Would you take a pill that stops the mental suffering that follow? Or would you want the pain because it helped you overall?
Ooh. What do you got?
If I could make sure that I still had the same wisdom that I received from going through all the bullshit I put myself through after.
Yeah.
That's the only way I ended up here.
Yeah. That is
Unfortunately,
wisdom.
I had to kick myself in the junk for a couple of years. And my family and the people who love me. And
We talked about that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Without hard times, there's no growth. Whether that happens in your childhood.
I hate that.
And I hate it.
I fucking hate it.
I hate it.
Can't we just have one easy get it? Right? Like, no.
We joked about it, but I'm 46. I'm still doing it's not. I usually don't make the same mistake twice.
You're a fucking toddler if you're 46.
Right. I usually don't make the same mistake twice. Here's the problem. I'm really, really creative with my first mistakes. So that's why I keep having to learn lessons.
Right. I think you probably ought to lend me that car for a few weeks because you might get in trouble with it.
All right, let's see. Zulu Whiskey says, what's up, boys? Are you the dude from the famous lollipop picture?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is in reference to? Because if not, then you're not him.
It's when I was on the helicopter with the lollipop, the fentanyl lollipop in my mouth. Yeah.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually...
The boys do their research. They know.
It was actually funny because I was a piece of shit in multiple ways that night. I did not bring my fentanyl lollipop. Remember how they made like the custody of it?
Yeah,
you had to sign and all.
Yeah.
Like it was a motherfucker, and guys would
right.
lose them and go through investigation. I'm like, fuck that. I'll never get shot. Dude, I'm laying there screaming, somebody give me the lollipop. Mike Toussaint gave me the lollipop and had to fucking go back in a gunfight. So don't fucking leave your lollipop.
I'll make you feel better about
No,
myself.
this is awesome. I'm so glad I came. This has fucked with me my whole life.
So I get shot. Yeah, the tourniquet. The tourniquet hurt worse than getting shot. Yeah, it basically tore my arm, almost tore my arm off.
Damn. How close were you?
Probably about 10 yards, 10 meters.
Oof. Yeah.
So I do get my fentanyl lollipop out of my shoulder pockets where I always kept it. I did remember it. I was like, this hurts. Oh, maybe this will help. It did not help. Another buddy of mine was shot through and through in the calf, like just a little bit away from me that night, and my nods were shot off.
Oh,
so
God damn.
I'm walking, and we were running down squirters. Oh, yeah. So it took us 45 minutes, an hour to get back to this shot up small patrol to get back.
Damn.
And so I'm holding on to people because I can't see anything. And whoever is in front of me, I'm like, hey, I'm like, hold on his shoulders. You got your fentanyl lollipop? He's like, yeah. And so I take his fentanyl lollipop, this random person. There's only 4 of us, or Americans.
Right.
And then I look back, I'm like, hey, you got your fentanyl lollipop? and it's Frank, the guy who's shot.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, Brent. And then I heard it's Frank. I was like, oh, no, you keep it. He's like, nah, man, I'm good. You can have mine. So I ate mine. I ate everyone else's in the patrol, and I ate the fentanyl lollipop of the guy who was also shot.
This trip has been worth it every fucking minute of my life. I am now not the biggest piece of shit in the room. Thank you.
He said he didn't need it. I needed it.
Yeah, hey, dude, I
needed it. Yeah.
Aaron Ferrales says, for those of us unable to be in New York this year for the Ruck, what can we do to help support the project?
I'm sure you can go to 50forthefallen.com and go donate. It's a foundation. There's always it's usually advantageous to them to make it easy to donate.
That's it. The website is 50ftf.org.
There you go. Thank you.
50ftf.org.
And Bo's watching. He's probably very disappointed in me that I didn't get the website right. So thank you for correcting me on that.
Oh my gosh, I just saw one of those things from Hugh Conrad up there. See that? You see
Yeah.
How proud of us were you after our second paper submissions? So their first paper submission, remember I told you I had that police officer and his dog come in after they'd had a use of force.
Okay.
And they saw the video and they walked through, so their first paper, I said, Joe, the police officer, I said, Joe has a son. And he's 6 months old. His name's Theo. And I want you guys to write a paper. I want you to write a letter to Theo telling him what courage means. Right? That's the name of the class, Courage in Its Shadows. After meeting his father.
Okay.
And dude, those letters would make you fucking cry. Like it was it was a beautiful. Like it was amazing. So the second one, we had a different speaker. And I said, pick a national level political leader and write them a letter based on what you've learned from the conversation with the police officer and then with Jack Smith, the guy who was the prosecutor for President Trump. He was the second speaker. And write this political person about what you have learned from both the police officer and the formal federal prosecutor. And they they just went their political, it was like a political hack thing. And I went through all their papers and I circled all the I's. I this, I think you this, I this, I. And I handed them back to him and I was like, look, you guys, you're human. You sound the way a lot of people think arrogant Yale kids would sound. And they're like, whoa. And it really, like it hit.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So Hugh, thank you for that. Hugh was also the guy, by the way, Hugh was the kid who looked Jack Smith in the eye in class and said, hey, man, I voted for President Trump. Yeah. But how do we stop dehumanizing each other? That's courage. Yeah. That's courage, man.
It's great self-awareness.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
All right, Drew, just keep going.
Just Nut 11B says, I was grew up just south of Salt Lake City myself.
Look at you, Drew.
Remember Camp Williams kind of fondly. That's where I pissed on my company XO.
Wow.
Sounds like a story there.
Memorable.
All right.
Now.
All right, what else?
Bruce Wayne says, hey, Brent, it's Seth from last night. Wanted to say thank you again for taking the time and speaking to me over the phone last night. Thank you for the amazing advice. The flag will be on its way soon.
That's awesome. I was telling you about, I was talking to a SWAT guy.
Yeah.
Last night, and that was him out of Texas, a little bit smaller SWAT team out of Texas. He had some tactical questions for me, and I was like, you know what, this is phone call worthy, because when you get into those CQB questions, you have to flesh out all the variables. It's never that simple. Or is it hostage rescue? Is it? Do we need to go fast? Do we go slow? I probably talked to him for over an hour last night, and didn't know him from Adam, but loved to do it. And that's just another way. Like we put our money where our mouth is, and we don't care if you're big city, small town. You can call me if you have a problem. There are people cool, you can reach out to and care enough to talk to you. So
you guys in New Haven hear that?
Seth, I really appreciate you doing that, man, and that gives me an opportunity to talk about it. Otherwise, it'd sound really pompous of me to be like, hey, no one knows this, but let me just tell you about a cool thing that I did, you know? so Seth, I appreciate you saying that, giving an opportunity to talk about it.
J. Crowley, thank you so much for the love. The Prussian says, who would win in a fight, a Silt or a Green Beret?
Depends on the fight. Depends on what the rules are.
Yeah, right.
Right? There's I've actually gotten in the water with some dudes that were Army guys that were pretty fucking good in the water. So you got to be careful what you wish.
I have a problem that no matter how much I try to make sure it doesn't happen, I can't shake, and that is misspelling things, and it sucks. Green Beret was episode 1.
So it's a long term.
Canine handler from 10th group, Bo, and I wrote Special Forces Green Beret rather than Beret. My eyes never saw it. I fixed it after a couple hours of being up.
Too late.
Too late. The internet never forgets.
Well, the G and the B are right next to each other on the type on the keyboard. So.
I wish that was the last thing I misspelt, but I've probably misspelt 3 or 4 things after that.
Let's see. Drew Crowley says, hashtag Mama J purple robe say, do you really have purple pajamas?
So this is a funny story. Jay Crowley is the mother of the wife of a fellow with whom I used to work.
Okay.
And this fellow's wife and my wife are close. And this is my friend's wife's mother. And she had a tactic. When her daughters would go out and be out past curfew, she would put on her purple robe and get in the car and drive to where the party was and go in the purple robe. And so when we heard this story, we all bought purple robes. And it's just kind of a tradition in our family.
Nice. Here's a cool story just from, whether it be SEAL Team 6 Delta, 2-2, those guys living together, and it's not a competition. When they get together, they're best friends.
Yeah.
Dunk Bailey was on here, and he was a 2-2 guy, and the SAS had a compound in Bagram, not Bagram, just Baghdad, BIOP, and the Delta Force had an adjoining compound, and they were doing missions sometimes together, usually separately, but working on the same task force. And at some point, they're like, you know what? It was joined, sharing a wall. They're like, screw this. And they put an explosive up, and they blew a hole in the wall so they could hang out with each other and not have to walk outside and walk around and knock on the door to show that they're brothers.
That's awesome, man.
While they were doing that, so they had got these like OD green jackets and had some name tabs put on them. So the Delta guys, where'd you get those old school like green jackets? Like they look like Rambo jackets. And they were like, yeah, they kind of are Rambo jackets. So they bought them for the Delta Force guys, and whatever their name was, they put Bo on the end of it. Kind of like Rambo, you know what I mean? So
I love those
James
dudes.
Bo, Drew Bo.
I love those dudes. When
Mag Bo.
Whenever there was misery, and I worked with the SBS, obviously more.
Right, yeah.
But whenever it was miserable and shitty, those dudes were always hilarious, man.
They were.
They were always.
It's like they got funnier
Yes,
the harder
the
times
shittier
got.
things were. Yeah.
Oh, man. And that's who you want. That's who you want to work with.
100%.
All right, what else we got? Drew?
All right, we've got JBad99 says, oldest universities ranked. Number 1, Harvard. Number 2, William and Mary in Virginia.
William and Mary. There you go.
And he's an alumni of. And I carry
that's some inside information.
I carry some PTSD from attending it. And then third is Yale. But fun fact, St. John's is sometimes called third oldest because it was King something before it was called St. John's. And so whatever that college was, it's called King something. I don't remember what it's called.
Okay. Well, I love
St.
it.
John's is awesome. They do that
Love it.
old books, classics thing too, and that's really cool.
You know what's crazy? I don't know. What's Yale's mascot? I don't even know. Hold on. Oh, dang it. Hopefully I talked over it.
Yes.
Drew, do you know what it is? You might have heard it, but do you know what Yale's mascot is?
No.
Do you know what Harvard's mascot is?
Don't remember. I know I'm
But you want to take a swing at it? Nope. I feel like I know every mascot in football. And I can't tell you.
I didn't know they had football teams.
Yale and Harvard still play football. It's like been going on for 100-something years,
you should see
right?
the Yale Bowl. It's like 80,000 people, and it's like 8,000.
It's probably like watching a soccer game.
Well, all right, what's
Back in the day,
What's Yale's mascot? I'm
Bulldog.
I feel like I did know that. Okay,
They
Harvard.
call him Handsome Dan, and I'm thinking about getting a Malinois
Yeah?
When my service dog she's 15, she's gonna die soon, and I'm thinking about getting another one and call him Nasty Dan.
Oh, nice.
To go out to like the lacrosse games and stuff.
What's Harvard's mascot?
I think it's a silver bowl or something like that.
Bowl or bull?
Bowl, BOWL. I'm kidding. I don't know. I have no idea.
Please look that up and let
John
us know.
Harvard the Pilgrim.
John Harvard the Pilgrim. Harvard.
John Harvard the Pilgrim.
I can't.
What kind of mascot is that?
I'll take the Bulldogs over that. All right.
Hey, Harvard's no joke.
Yeah.
Man.
All right. What else we got? Let's keep going, Drew.
All right. Let's see. Just another 11 Bravo says, starting a fund to get the Tier 1 podcast off of AOL.
We have
That's awesome.
fiber internet here. That is not the problem.
Some haven't. I didn't touch nothing. All right. Sully1234 says, when doing soft training, don't quit like Tier 1 podcast. Don't quit their dodgy Wi-Fi.
We don't have dodgy Wi-Fi. I won't stand for it.
Got to continue on with the mission.
That's right.
Don't tell them that. Guys, donate. We need Wi-Fi. We need Wi-Fi.
True. Yeah, if people weren't such
Dial-up
cheap
still.
asses, we'd probably be a little bit better on the bandwidth.
Daniel Hiawatsy says, this is what happens when you start on time.
I know.
That's what we said.
I know. We
Jinxed
start
it.
on time.
Jinxed it.
We're actually notoriously late. 8:04, 8:05,
And then I was the
8:10.
one.
Right. And so Drew was like, hey, you want to get him? I was like, no. He knows 8 o'clock means 8 o'clock. And then we had to restart it. And I don't even have that anymore. Yeah.
It never happened.
Let's see. Right Wing Nut says, didn't Bergdahl convert to Islam? The dang Muslims didn't even want him. They gave him back.
I don't remember enough. I feel like at one point, because I'd done several train ups for that. And I feel like I did hear that, but I'm sure he was doing what he had to do to survive.
Yeah, I think that's my take as well.
Was it 5 years?
I think
5 years, yeah.
Yeah, 5 years, and it was not. He did actually escape, and when he did, that changed things dramatically for him.
Do you know what they did to him when he tried to escape? When they got him,
I know they put him in a cage.
they put him in a cage, and then
It was like a mattress springs. That's what he was on.
And if I remember right, it wasn't like just mattress springs, because whatever it was, he could put his feet down through it. So maybe it was like cut out or something like that. But maybe it was mattress springs. They would, because he tried to run away, they would burn the bottom of his feet.
Yeah,
And then when they would heal, they'd come back and burn
him
the
again.
bottom of his feet again.
kept him from going. Yeah.
Time served.
5 years.
Time. There's nothing we can do to him that
Yeah.
that the Taliban
Yeah.
hasn't already done.
Yeah, he's.
All right.
Jared Rosen says, I think Andy Stump is the only public figure in the space to be honest about the Tim Kennedy situation. Why is that? Why is Jocko silent on the topic?
I don't know. I think we were pretty honest about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think it's implied besides us?
I guess it better be.
All right. This is not me attacking Jocko. I don't need clickbait stuff to try to get further in this. There's all sorts of things we could do, but I will answer a question if you ask it. So, why do I think Jocko is silent on the topic? I don't know. But I am disappointed. And I'd love, and hey, Jocko can get a hold of me. I'd probably try to get a hold of Jocko. If he hears this, I would absolutely love to talk to you about it, and I'll correct this record. But Jocko makes a living off of extreme ownership, and then when the Tim Kennedy stuff came out, rather than saying something about it or saying, "Hey, we have a podcast with this guy that put out bad information," they just silently removed the episode. And never addressed it. Maybe he thought that was enough, and maybe he thought that removing the episode was extreme ownership about it. I don't know. You'd have to talk to him, So there you go. You're at Yale, at the time. You're still in the special operations community. Do Do you remember like catching wind of this whole like Tim Kennedy stuff? Are you tracking it at all? Or maybe
No,
you know
I
about
know.
it?
I know that he's an ex. I think he. I jumped a bit with John McPhee, and I really like that guy.
I'm sure he's fun.
But I think I remember John did some stuff with him early on, but I don't know. I just know Tim's a fighter, and there's been some things. Honestly, I kind of try to stay out of it because I'm like,
he wrote a book that was absolutely full of massive fabrications.
that seems to be the.
Right. And John McPhee wasn't too far behind him.
I've heard some folks say that. I sure like John though. He's funny.
I'm sure. Oh yeah, I'm sure he's funny.
Night Sarge says, good evening from the great state of Texas. I just made the SWAT team this last week. I will be going to Paul Howe's SWAT school. Thanks for being a part of me being Tier 1. I am pumped. Let's go.
Night Sarge, I'm pumped for you. You're gonna go off and do some great things. Things that other men who didn't have the courage to challenge themselves and go out to be a SWAT team will not get to experience, but you will because you went out and you went after it and got it. So congratulations.
Kane Korsoff says, Mr. Hatch, among Gen Z faith and academia, the medical establishment, and the NGO expert, class has been demolished. Is that deserved? And is there any going back?
Yeah, I think, Kane, I don't know exactly what you mean by demolish. I think, are you talking about the USAID stuff and the funding and all that kind of stuff that's been going on under this present administration? If that's what you're saying, there's been some definite, there's people out there documenting like the human toll on some of those things. Conversely, it's not hard to find places in those organizations where there was waste. And I think, I'm the knuckle dragger that, slipped into the doors of the Ivy League, because they thought I was a janitor maybe. But I honestly believe that there's somewhere in the middle is the truth there. I think that there's waste, fraud, and abuse in most government, any bureaucratic place. Unfortunately, the way we're taking care of that is by being bombastic about it and separating people and us versus them kind of thing. I don't believe that NGOs are ever going to go away. I don't believe that they should.
Nor should they.
Right, and I don't believe that the USAID, that type of idea is going to go away. But I definitely believe there's been some major damage, and I don't know enough about the situation to be able to say to you, yes, this is specifically what's going to happen or what's not going to happen. But let me say this about that. Yeah. I believe that using guys like me and Brent has become the easy button, and I think. When you can say, hey, man, fellas, go snatch this leader of this country, and it can happen in a matter of hours. There are people who've never had to deal with the consequences of war that all of a sudden think it's a really neat thing. So I think we should take a very good part, a significant part of the defense budget and put it into the Foreign Service and make it the Foreign Service a serious institution. And that comes back to, I think, that the point you're trying to make. But that's an organizational thing and a big government thing that would take a lot of time. So I do believe that we're in a space right now where we're spending a lot on the military, clearly, and not other things that might preclude the use of the military if we spent some time trying to work things out.
All right. Solid answer.
Sully1234 says, thoughts on SEAL Eric Deming. U.S. Marine saying Jocko was coward in war, caused Marine and civilian deaths. Deming criticized Marcus Luttrell too. I
don't know this person but that seems like the criticism is there. The only criticism, I have never met Jocko. I know one guy that I worked with, in fact, one of the guys that saved my life that did know him. I do know that he was invited to come and try out. He had a name on a locker and never showed up. I think he wanted to do something else. I don't know the man. I don't know anything about him. It's easy to criticize people that are public and get out and talk about things. Like it's easy to criticize me. I've gotten out in my book and other podcasts, things like that. And I think that's just part of the deal. And if you're going to be public, you just got to learn to live with it.
Yeah.
Right Wing Nut says, what do you think about them shooting an unarmed woman? And my son is a SWAT cop, so this isn't an anti-police thing.
Is that for me or Brent?
We'll send it to you.
Yeah, why don't you?
Yeah, I think it's my personal opinion that I don't think that woman should have been shot in the face. I think the guy put himself in that position, and it ended up he put himself in front of the vehicle. That's just my opinion, and based on the conversations I've had with the cops that I'm close to. Conversely, and I've said this to my class, it's pretty fucking stupid to go out and run around with armed guys that are pissed off and been told that people are trying to kill them, and laugh and joke about it and think it's a funny thing. I don't think that woman deserved to get shot in the face, but she sure as fuck wasn't spending her time wisely.
Correct.
See, I
This
thought
is-
he was asking about January 6th. So I guess it's
no woman
the-
got shot in the face on J6.
not in the face, but it doesn't say shot in the face.
Oh, I thought I said sorry. I'm sorry.
Shooting an unarmed
Shooting an
woman.
Shooting an unarmed woman.
So I mean, I don't know if it's going to be
What do you think about
the
shooting an unarmed
the
woman? I see.
ICE thing or the January 6th thing.
I have an opinion on both, actually. I hate telling cops. This is just what I hate telling them, because you can't stand in front of a car. How about we make the standing rule to civilians: don't run over cops. Like,
But she didn't really run over him.
and of course it's always a little bit. She absolutely charged the car. She didn't run over him, but he was standing in front of the car, and she goosed it, and he had already been dragged by a car. Did you remember that part of it by chance? So he has that in his, like, don't make
Yeah,
the
his
same mistake.
PTSD.
Right? Yeah.
yeah.
So when cops have their guns drawn to you and saying, "Get out of the car, turn off
Exactly.
the vehicle,"
Yeah.
let's just do that. That's just pretty crazy.
I still don't know that she needed to get shot in the fucking face.
It was a consequence of her actions.
And a choice by him. And he was the guy with the gun. And look, I don't envy that position. I've
Well,
been
when
there,
you're
but-
when you're a short woman behind the driver's steering wheel, that's all that you can see.
Yeah, well, but it goes back to let's just keep peeling back the onion. And you already said it. I don't think she's making a wise choice of her time.
Right.
Like, why do you think you've never been shot in the face by a cop?
I just did what they said.
It's pretty. That's at the end of the day. No matter what, it's actually really easy to not get shot in the face by a
100%.
cop. It's so easy. It's so easy. I've covered this on the January 6th thing before. I don't think that girl should have been shot, but it's different. You're like, well, that's where's your consistency? You said that girl should have been shot. Now it's a January 6er, and she should not have been shot, because, as always, circumstances are different. One does have a weapon, if you will, a vehicle, and the other one was clearly and obviously unarmed and posed no threat. It's my opinion. I'm not going to
Right.
bash anyone else on that. And again, because I did a deep dive on this, she did not like confined spaces, and people kept on pushing in there and pushing in there and pushing in there, and she was trying to escape the horde, not push forward into.
And she was getting pushed.
Right. And so she decided, hey, let me get away from this massive crowd of people that are confining me, and it cost her her life. But guess what?
Can I?
At the end of the day, let's roll it back. You want to know why I've never been shot in the Capitol?
Right, because you don't go to the Capitol and shit on Nancy Pelosi's desk.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Yeah.
I'm consistent as well.
Right.
Let's roll it back. So,
But I would also say, and this is what bothers me about these discussions, the things that took place to create that situation, those fucking things count, right? All of the dramatic language, the us and them, and all of those things. That's leadership creating an environment. It's creating an atmosphere of conflict and fuck you, and those things count.
Right.
And that's why leaders count. And I don't, we were talking about my problems with President Trump. That is my problem. He doesn't give a fuck about bringing us together. He's decided that if you don't believe things the way he does,
right.
you're not an American.
I will, and again, just not just like the blindly
No,
but
no,
this
I
is
got
the discussion, right?
No, I'm
because
glad.
we did, because of the January 6th thing. We looked into it. I mean, Trump did say, we will go down there and we will march peacefully. That's what he said. He also said in other parts of his speech that, hey, we need to stand up, and fight for our country. Context clearly shows what he really meant by that, but it could have been taken out of context. And so you as a leader, like you have to know what your words have, the power your words have, and make sure that no one can take it out of context. My other problem is we played about a 5-minute compilation of the other side. You still can't call him a Nazi. You still can't say we have to take this guy out. You can't say
Right.
Joe
Well, you can
Biden
say
can't. Well, yeah, you can.
It's America,
Yeah,
but you're
right.
an asshole.
Right.
Yeah.
Say, I'll take him behind the gym and and punch him. And there's just clip after clip after clip of them also inciting violence.
100%.
Again, I say inciting violence. I want to be very consistent. In context, do I really think they were inciting true violence? I would hope not. I think they're talking about, metaphorically and fight, and things like that. But it's happening on both
100%.
sides.
No, 100%.
Let's return to civility.
I agree with you.
Return to civility.
The only way to do that, though, is to have somebody who has the big microphone say, "Hey, man,
does start
let's
at the top.
fucking chill.
I'll give you that.
Let's."
It starts at the top.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's both sides for sure. And I remember, I mentioned earlier, I'm pretty good friends with Gabby Giffords, and I met her when she was on a congressional delegation. She came to Kandahar, and I took her on a tandem jump. And like I said, man, I shot a lot of people in the head. None of them lived, and she's walking. She's my hero, man.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
But that's what she's a Democrat. But I remember talking to her. She was I'm like, what's a blue dog Democrat? Like, what is that? She goes, well, I live in the part of Arizona that's on the border. And I'm a Democrat. So we're, liberal, blah, blah, blah. But part of my constituents are ranchers. And they are taking heavies because of the traffic that's coming across the border, right?
Yeah.
And she got really into it. Like, she was proud of that. Like, that was something, like, she was...
Love it.
But not long before she got shot, what was her name? Sarah Palin?
I do remember.
She put like a sniper's thing on her.
I do remember that.
And I
Yes.
remember Gabby
Yeah.
saying to me, and I talked to Mark about this too, but I remember Gabby saying she was going to these town hall meetings during they called it Obamacare, but the Affordable Care Act.
Right.
People were screaming at her, and she called and she said, Jimmy, I'm really afraid somebody's going to walk up and shoot me in the face at one of these things.
It's been so long. Do you remember why that guy did it? I don't
No,
remember.
he was that kid was out of his mind. He was seriously mentally ill. And this can take us to another thing that is also a problematic discussion. It's the guns and Here's my problem with all of the talk about those things is at no point does anybody say what is the responsibility of the people who live with someone like that.
Oh, I love it.
The kid, the parents who this kid who was a college kid, he got kicked out. They made him leave school because he was mentally unstable. Yeah. The kid was rolling with a Glock with a 30-round clip in it. I mean, somebody knew the kid had that shit. And then, right, yeah. Like, we have to kind of...
I am under, if your kid, no matter how old, if he lives in your house and uses your gun, you will bear some sort of responsibility.
Has to be.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I know, but there's a reason I'm not king for a day. Like, we need balance in this world. Like, you don't want me making laws. It's
right.
not, it wouldn't be good. I don't have the empathy. I know that. Like,
but I think it's good to have that tension, and we can, you know what I mean? Like, hey, well, let's talk about that. Like, pulling both ways. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. What else we got, Drew?
Kane Korsov says, unity at any cost is tyranny with extra steps.
Okay.
That is true. Unity at any cost. That's interesting. Unity at any cost.
So then you would say that all of the politicians that are united with President Trump are tyrannical?
Yeah. So I don't think
because I would.
Right. So I don't think there's such a. I'm having a hard time.
Unity at any cost, like you eliminate people that don't agree with you, so that you can have unity.
That is also part. There's two parts of unity at any cost, and that's what my brain's going back and forth, back and forth. There's a violent side of it, of unity at any cost. If you remove people, you'll get unity. You'll also get unity with
Start shooting people enough.
Yeah, you'll eventually get to unity.
You want people to switch to Islam?
The other way to get to unity is extreme compromise, but extreme compromise
At what cost?
doesn't provide unity at the end of the day. Take a couple, right? When
Yeah,
they
it's going to
would
be
split,
resentment at a
there's
point.
going to be resentment, so you don't really have true unity. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah, so I think the only way for true unity is to remove people. So yes, that is tyranny. Yeah, absolutely. Good. Look, I love our audience. They're great.
K9 Indy Actual says, huge shout out to Jimmy and Spike's K9 for keeping our K9 unit ballistic vested and safe day to day.
That's
Much
so
love,
awesome.
brother.
Thank you. And I have, I was the founder of Spike's Canine Fun, but Emily Gray runs it, and I kind of stepped out of the day-to-day operations because I wasn't smart enough and I was too emotional about it. And Emily's really, the organization's doing better. They've improved, and there's a lot of things that they're working on right now, and I'm starting to dip my toes back into it and see, where I can be of value. Look, man, we need, these dogs aren't volunteers, and
Right.
and there's people that go home to their families at night, people like me, because dogs saved my life, and some of them got killed doing that, and they don't know what we're asking them to do, and we use their loyalty as a tool against them to keep us safe. So Emily and the rest of the crew at Spike's Canine Fund are getting after it. We have trainers that are teaching people, trainers from units like mine, units like Brent's. We have guys that have incredible talent and skill trying to help. All we need is the resources to spread the news and get these, particularly these small rural communities where there's one or two police dogs that don't have access to the funds so they can get proper training. We need everybody's help with that, and those dogs damn deserve it. And I appreciate you bringing it up, and I'm grateful that I was able to do something. They've helped out over 3,000 dogs in all 50 states, and with medical care, with ballistic protection, the best ballistic protection you can buy. Training. We didn't realize that training was such a need until we did a podcast it's called Working Dog Radio, and I asked them, I'm like, you guys know the community. What's the biggest lack? And they said training. And it makes sense because the dog can only be as good as the training.
Correct.
And what the human gets, the human is the person who decides how well that dog gets. So we need to make sure the humans are trained. Yeah. There's a lot at work there, and the dogs deserve it, and they do. They keep our community safe. They find, the way these guys that are hiding, porn, children stuff on these little thumb drives, there's dogs that can sniff those things out. I mean, they do so much for us.
Yeah.
And we really, thank you for having me on. Thanks for the question because it's important.
Thank you.
Do we take a commercial break at this point?
Let's do it. Commercial break.
I got to pee.
We'll be right back.
All right.
That's awesome. I'm glad we're talking about the Trump stuff.
Let go of the button. There it goes.
All right. Hello.
Yeah, we're on. Just I don't know why my
Well, you figure it out. I'll keep the people entertained. Let's see here. I'm going to go right on to Buff Like Jesus. Sally Peeps for modern pizza. There is only one right answer, and it starts with an S.
It's got to be. I wonder if those are pizza places in his around Yale.
Yeah.
what it
Oh.
sounds like to me.
All right. I will wait. I will wait for him.
For him, I don't know why I'm hitting the buttons and these videos aren't playing. We got gremlins tonight, boys.
Hey, you're just fine. I will do without it. Actually, I got you on the fly, guys. Please, support our sponsors. They're the reasons we can do this show, have the lights on, have amazing guests like James and others tell their story. This episode is brought to you by Tasty Gains. Go to tastygains.com. Use promo code Tier1 to get your discount. Creatine is more than just to help with muscle regrowth, although it absolutely does that. There's been proven benefits to the mental aspects of it too. And whether you travel or just want to make an easier way so you don't have to get powders and figure it all out and make a mess, just grab the creatine gummies, pop in 3 a day. I have one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one at night. I just keep it on my desk and I randomly pop one in. It's too easy. Go to tastygains.com. Also, Brotherhood Blades is a sponsor of this show. On the recorded episode, I gave James his Brotherhood Blades, and he keeps on looking at it, telling me how cool it is. I really do appreciate that. Everybody needs a quality knife. Everybody. They make great gifts. There should be one in your truck. There should be one in your house. And there should just be one really cool knife in your life. Go to Brotherhood Blades to get that done. Again, promo code Tier1 will save you the money on that. This episode's also brought to you by Venjenz. Venjenz is the anti-pharmaceutical company that will get you the supplements that you need. They have a wide array of supplements. So many, it's actually hard to list all of them. If you're looking for a better answer at health, please go to venjenz.com. Use promo code Tier1 as always. And I'm going to make sure, because they spell it a little bit different, that you get the correct website on that. And that is Venjenz. Come on, phone. Work for me. I think my phone's a little slow too, but it's not the internet. So I don't know what it is. It's Venjenz. Venjenz.com. They have supplements to remove toxins and heavy metals, immune formulas, anti-inflammatory formulas, and so much more. Again, go to venjenz.com, Venjenz.com. Use promo code Tier1. Drew, have I forgotten any sponsors?
Yeah. FRCC.shop, First Responder Cigar, Coffee, and Cask Company. Guys, we've got a really steep discount on coffee this month. If we get enough sales, we'll keep the price low. But if we don't, we got to put the price back up there in order to help out those first responders. Also, we've got brand new flavored vanilla cigars. They are delicious. They are different than anything else in the market. Check it out. Go to frcc.shop. Look at the cigars. Look for the Sweet Charlie, the Sweet Alpha. Also, we've got a brand new today bourbon t-shirt, the FRCC bourbon t-shirt. It is a beautiful t-shirt. Nice barrel on the back. Comes in espresso like this one right here and a black one. You're going to like it. We also have, do we want to do it now? Magnet?
What's that?
You want to show that shirt? It's hilarious.
You guys have it. I don't
You
have
got
one to pull up.
Put it up on the camera.
There's two.
Come back to you.
Oh.
You guys are
Steal
going to like
your
this
thunder?
shirt. You guys are going to like this shirt. I laughed when I saw it. Tactical hot dog.
He's done it.
You guys asked for it. I did it.
He's done it.
Last night there was a drop on the Patreon. So if you guys aren't a Patreon member, go to line_arms. It's on my story right now. These are dropped. They're 25 plus shipping.
There you go.
Yeah, buddy. That's a funny shirt, man. Good job on that one. Magnet, good job.
Speaking of Patreon, again, we're just making up some time for a break to give everyone a break. The next Thursday should be, we're giving away these panos. These digital panos. They're not the analog, not L3 $50,000, but they cost me $4,000, and I bought them to see how good they are, and I'm giving them away. So I'm gonna release a episode tomorrow, giving my review on them, how good I think they are. James, I'll let you look into that and see how good $4,000 panos are. And,
I've never looked at the other panos. We didn't have them.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. So they'll be great to me.
So yeah, the only thing, you still have a week to join Patreon. You don't have to do another sign up. Just join Patreon and you're automatically entered and you just might win. I say that it's this whole setup. It's the helmet, the battery pack, the ear pro, the helmet mount, and the nods. The whole shebang. And I'm giving away, because I already bought it, I had to buy an IR illuminator because I wanted to really test them. And I'm going to give you that IR flood and illuminator as well with it. Join the Patreon, Tier 1 Podcast.
Brent, are you going to sign the helmet?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I will ask the Patreon member if he wants me to sign it. I'll absolutely sign the
You could
the
get
helmet
it with
or
or
the
without.
nods.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's pretty cool. No other podcast is dumb enough to buy $4,000 digital nods and then panos and then I'll just give them away. We are that dumb. We are that dumb.
Stick around.
Absolutely. All right. Let's get back to it. Let's keep it rolling.
Buff Like Jesus says Sally's, Pepe's, or modern pizza. There's only one right answer, and it starts with a S.
I feel like that's a Yale question.
No, so New Haven, Connecticut is seriously the pizza up there. Like people travel from all over to have the pizza there. And there's 3 major places. Sally's is one, Pepe's is probably the most famous, and then modern. And Sally's and Pepe's are located in this Little Italy part of town.
Okay.
And then I will let this person have the S. He wants Sally's to be the number one, but there's a locals favorite. That
some inside baseball. Go ahead.
and it starts with a Z. I'm just going to leave it at that.
All right. All right. What else we got?
Let's see. Kulagnati says, you're a Delta Force operator pleaser. Find your balls and speak out against the Israel problem, or be late to the program because it's a touchy subject.
Find your balls.
Right.
Dude, that's a great way to get a response.
All right.
It's for $4.99. Just
Okay.
Hey.
it's Israel subject for $4.99.
I'm not going to have an emotional response about grabbing my balls.
What's the Israel problem that he's...
Because Jews run the world, and Jews are the reason that we grabbed Maduro. Jews are the reason we went after Iran. Jews are the reason we have transgenders. Jews are the... You name it. What's the problem? Jews are the reason.
Okay. You know.
Yeah. So instead of me grabbing my balls, how about you grab your brain? And what I mean by that is you're telling me... I saw a clip the other day. It was so funny. And it was someone telling about how we support Israel, and their air defense system. And essentially, they wouldn't exist without us. And so Israel can't do anything without us. Yet Israel runs us? Logically, no sense at all. Here's the other problem. Again, here's the other problem I have. It really has to do... I have, at the moment, which I don't believe in aliens... And that can be whole nother discussion. I'm fine with that because I don't see the overwhelming evidence. I don't even need overwhelming. I just need
Nobody can keep that shit secret?
That's right.
No way.
I'm glad you mentioned that. No one can keep that secret. So if Jews run the government, you're telling me the hundreds of reps we have at the House of Reps and the 100 senators we have, not one has the fortitude to come out and say, hey, I just want to let you guys know the Jews have been trying to tell me exactly how to vote, and I won't stand for it anymore. There's absolutely no evidence. The evidence is everyone on the internet trying to find things. You already have an end state decided, and you make everything line up for that. So until you can come to me logically, even though I don't believe it, I will listen to it. I have no problem listening to it. I don't think that's going to win your argument. You're going to have to come a little bit better at that. But you see how I came with things like logic, reason? You should try that. Give that a whirl.
All right, DeVille, thank you for the love there, brother. Unlisted X2Y says, James, are you Skull and Bones?
I am not. Skull and Bones.
I bet they have cool T-shirts. They better have.
They don't do. They don't. No.
That's the worst. Yeah. Secret or then why get the secret organization?
Because it makes people talk about it. But it's cool.
If you can't tell everyone how cool you are.
Yeah. Well, maybe I don't know.
Yeah. All right. What else we got?
Brent Huberty says, cheers, gents. $50.
Oh, nice.
Keeping the lights on. Thank you very much. Zulu Whiskey, thank you, sir. Depression, back in to talk about the poop deck. He says it's a song by Georgie Jorgensen.
Okay.
Oh, old school song.
Who did the halibut on the poop deck? When my dad was in the Navy, that was a popular song.
All right. All right.
All right.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you for clearing that up.
have to look that up.
That was going to bug me. All right.
Have to look that up.
Oh, Bo.
Pressure.
Speaking of Darren Beheeler.
There's Bo.
Looks like he's going to get what he wants. He always
the
does.
above average state of Texas. Exatune Pantera. This love. But he didn't pick out the halibut on the poop deck.
You
though.
guys got some regulars, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we do.
That's
They're the
awesome.
best.
That's awesome.
I know, at this point, it's so funny. If I almost don't want to meet them. I say that tongue in cheek, but it's like I only know them by their screen name, and I feel like I know them by
Right,
the way
right.
they make comments. And so if I meet them for real, I'll find out, oh, that's not who you really are. That's your internet persona. Like, oh,
Right.
you're just a normal person. No, I just want you to be this ridiculous internet persona for me because that's how I've known you for months and months and months.
Graybeard Operator, he says, I just wanted to thank everyone for the help on my GoFundMe, from last
Hoping
week.
that's last week. Absolutely
Yeah.
happy to do it. Thank you for everything you've done for this country.
I think he updated. He said, I think they're up to they're north of 4,000, maybe about $4,600.
Okay.
But today, a sheriff presented him with some foreclosure information. So
Really?
facing that, yeah.
Okay. Keep us. I'm serious. Keep us updated. If we need to get more involved, then we will.
Just Note 11B says I did make it here for the glitches.
Dang it! Didn't even get away with that. Yeah.
Glitches. All right. DeVille says, have you ever got out pranked? Rumor has it you're quite the prankster, Jimmy.
These
that
are
for you, Jimmy?
allegations.
These are
and
allegations.
I don't know where. Honestly, like I've never really been a pranker. I don't know.
Okay, so that might be on me then, because they didn't say who it was for.
Yeah, maybe probably you.
Oh, yeah, could be you.
I've
No.
never really been a pranker.
Never been out pranked. Never been out pranked. In fact, if you out prank me, I will not sleep until I out prank you back.
Damn, that's
And
a sickness.
And it is, and it doesn't have to be tomorrow.
He's petty.
It doesn't have to be
He's
next
petty.
week. Oh, I'm petty. I'm a petty man.
He's petty like that.
I just
Petty
don't.
with
I think
patience.
pranks are immature.
Oh, they can be. Don't get me wrong. Like
Nobody said they weren't.
certain pranks are. Like it better be funny. Don't ruin anyone's stuff. Don't do this. Don't do that. Like a good prank is well thought out, funny, hurts no one. That's what you want. That's a good prank. And that takes some thought. Anyone can do a stupid. Anyone can light dog poop on the front porch.
Right.
That's stupid.
Right.
It takes real intelligence to pull off a true prank.
Slinging a magnet through somebody's wallet on Friday. Right. So when they go to get gas in their truck, their shit doesn't work. Yeah. Yeah. I just think pranking's immature. I don't know why anybody would do it. Personally.
Love the game.
Because did you hear what I did to Andy when he came?
No.
So,
You're poking the bear, man. You're poking the
All
bear.
right. It is immature, yeah, for sure. But that's why I like to
I'm
put
being
on.
funny.
That's why I like to put on this.
I love a prank.
This okay. I like to put on this serious or just jovial, and then hit you when you're not really expecting it. So when Andy Stumpf came on the show, he did just like we did. He did a recording, and then there was a couple-hour break, and I took him to dinner. While he was at dinner, we removed everything out of the studio, and we brought in a hot tub. And when he came back.
God.
And we brought shorts for him and a tank top, so again, and we did the live in a hot tub.
Oh my God.
And this was an anti-hero, and I had a co-host. So me and inflatable, me, Andy, and Tyler.
See, I wish I'd have known that. I probably should have done some
So yeah,
background.
I've been.
We should have presented you, Jimmy, with like a Harvard sweater or something like that.
right. So
Right.
and trust me, and I'm glad I get to remember those pranks every now and then because Andy's never got me back.
Yet.
Andy will. Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, Andy.
He'll take you
will.
for a ride in the helicopter and kick you out or some shit over the lake,
And Andy's really smart, so I know his prank is going to be intelligent, and you won't sniff it out, and
Right.
you won't.
He's writing it in a special language right now,
Or just knowing Andy, he's just playing the long game. He's like, I was never going to do anything to you. It was better for you to always worry about me doing something to you. Anyway, yeah.
10th Mountain Veteran, thank you so much for the $100.
Thank you
very much.
Absolutely.
We'll put that to good use. Half sack full of nades. Says, cheers, boys. Finally able to get back on live.
yeah.
Been too long. Love y'all.
Thank
Keep
you.
holding that tier 1 standard.
We try.
TBD Sear says, hey, boys, question for both. What civilian rain jacket shell did you run the most? Selfishly, I'm buying a new one and need opinions. Voodoo Godsmack.
Sure.
I used the one they gave me.
But
we had smart guys that were gear geeks, and so I think we used a lot of North Face stuff, Arc'teryx.
North Face, Arc'teryx. It's a lot easier to buy Arc'teryx when the government's paying for it. I don't think I'd ever buy an Arc'teryx, but they're a little pricey.
Yeah, for sure.
Or Patagonia. Like,
Patagucci's.
You can't go wrong with those things.
And they're guaranteed. Like
they work.
You just send it back, and if they can't fix it, they give you a new one.
Yeah.
So,
At the end of the day, they
Patagonia's
work.
hard to beat, for sure.
K9 RB Ron says, first time giving. And Jimmy, thanks for what you are doing and to help the pups here in Nashville.
Nice.
Wow, man. Thank you. Nashville's an amazing town.
Just Another 11B says, BMS equals Brent misspelling syndrome can be cured at Leering Centers.
Nice.
Touche.
They're not letting you go with that shit, are they?
No. Almost every week. Almost every week.
10th Mountain in again
Thank
with
you, sir.
another big gift.
He must be halfway into an FRCC bourbon bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Keep going, buddy.
Gift
No,
keeps on
thank you
giving.
so much, brother.
Absolutely. Just Another 11B says, you're never late when it's your formation.
That's true.
That's true. That's a good rule. I like that
That's
rule.
true. Yeah.
He also says, starting a fund to defend the CAG Daddy from slander lawsuits from all of Navy Special
Yeah, I'm here.
Warfare.
I'm trying to get some evidence against his ass right now. And really what I want is that fucking car in the garage.
It was Rob on the teams when you were in?
Yeah.
And Matt Bissonette was your 2 IC or just on your team?
Yeah, he was the 2. And he probably should have been the 1. He's smarter than me. Yeah, he's definitely one of the most talented guys. Seriously.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I
So
hear
was Rob. Rob's a talented guy.
I hear
Yeah.
good things about Matt.
Yeah.
I do. I'm not just saying this. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I hear 50-50 things about Rob. I've heard people
Yeah.
say good things about Rob. I've heard people say, not necessarily bad, but he was an average operator. But guess what? You'll never work so hard to be average in your life in a tier 1 unit.
Yeah.
You know?
I think, with I actually have something to say about all of that, right? Because I know both those guys, and I've written a book. In fact, it's funny, the guy
What's
who
the name of your book? You've said that a couple of times. I want to make sure it gets out there.
Yeah, it's called Touching the Dragon. And,
That's right.
And
I knew that.
Which is funny because the guy I wrote it with was a Harvard guy. This is before I went to Yale. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a Yale guy, but my book was written by a guy who went to Harvard. So, I think in, I want to say it was 2004 or 5, maybe it was 6 or 7. The Navy, it was after Lone Survivor, I think. The Navy put together, they hired a production company, and they put together a movie called Act of Valor. And in the credits on it, it said, these are real SEALs using real tactics and procedures and equipment.
Right.
Which flies directly in the face of every bit of guidance that we've ever been given about OPSEC, right? So at the same time that happens, Lone Survivor goes down, the Chris Kyle thing, and it's embraced really by the community, and it creates this new kind of way for people to turn their experiences into currency. And when you see generals and admirals writing books, right? And you see guys that did the real heavy lifting being told to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Right? It's hard. And I'm not saying that what I did by writing a book was right or wrong. I actually think it was right. And I tried to do my best to make sure that I didn't give anything away that was problematic. But it's worth saying, when you write a book and when you tell a story, it's your story. But you didn't do that by yourself. I'm telling stories about things that other guys were in there with me with, right? So that's selfish. It's self-indulgent. When I believe that when guys like Matt and Rob saw the writing on the wall, that you could use that as currency, and you could, create generational money for your family.
Right.
It's hard. Look, by the way, when you write a book, at least like with mine, because I wouldn't use Navy SEAL in it, I didn't make any fucking money, right?
Yeah.
But look, we can all have strong feelings. I think Rob suing you is insane, personally. I don't understand it. But when you go out and you start talking things and saying things about like historical events, boy, you better be tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
And the problem is, especially with Rob, I think more, and I'm not super tight in the community, but he's really alienated himself. And so the guys that do know the truth.
Yeah. I think that's, we talked about this before. If you don't say anything, I guess, positive or negative, we're just in a world where they just assume the negative, maybe, or because I'm being sued, that that I'm negative towards Rob. Not happy about the lawsuit.
No, I wouldn't be either.
But
yeah.
I don't by no means do I wish ill of Rob. Like I think he's dealing with some demons.
For sure.
I think and I want, and I even said it in the episode. I was like, I want, he has to live with this, and it's taking a toll. Like, the lies always do.
Yeah.
And if he were to, ever decide, like, I'm going to come clean. It's just not worth it anymore. F it.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the only way to live a better life. And I'm at least try it, because this way isn't helping. I would hop on a plane tomorrow to run out there and grab a beer with that guy and tell him I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
I don't want anything bad to happen to Rob.
That would be really cool, actually.
I don't. I do. So I have a question for you, and this is just reading you as a man, and not trying to be controversial or put you on the spot. Just we've hung out long enough now. I'm like, I'll send this one.
Yeah.
And it's not leading. It's not. You weren't there, so it makes it even easier. You weren't on that raid, even though you worked with both of them. You were from that squadron.
Mm.
Why do you think? This is a genuine question.
Yeah.
Why do you? Of course, I choose to believe. We'll just put it these two, right?
Yeah.
I choose to believe Matt for my reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And some people who don't, sometimes you don't know enough about a subject, so you say things like, "Oh, it's basically two versions of the same story,"
Right.
and it's just not true. How is it on one mission, two guys, from the same squadron, and one guy says, "Hey, that guy wasn't even anywhere close, and it was just me and UBL," and the other guy was like, "Yeah, we stormed to the third floor because that's where we knew he was, and 4 assaulters went in there, and we all took our turns shooting at him." Those are two like wildly different stories.
Yeah.
How do you get two different stories of that degree on the same mission? Because I know this, like in AARs and just us talk, like you might get another point of view from from what someone else was doing,
Right.
but their information actually only, even though it's different, when you hear it, it actually helps the story, right? Like it fills in blanks.
Yeah.
These two stories aren't working in tangent. They're it's like two people on two different missions. How does that happen?
Well, again, this is my opinion. I think once you turn something into currency, say, for example, we talked about the veteran stuff. When you make sickness something that you can get rewarded for, like people are going to be more sick, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Right? So
that's another hard truth.
I think,
Yeah.
I think there's so much rumor, and again, I just wasn't there, and I've heard lots of different things, and I don't really know what the truth is, but what I can say is something changed in the culture of the community.
Yeah.
And when, I don't know what it was with those guys individually that made them decide to do those things, except that they must have lost respect for the community in some sense, in some way that, look, man.
I think that's very true, by the way. I think they lost respect for the community.
And
and not even in a judging way, but
Right,
real quick,
no,
just to add on to that, when you feel like the community you gave everything to has now turned its back on you, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But
Like,
I think in that case,
I'm not justifying
No,
it, but
no.
I'm just saying I get how you get to that point.
for sure, especially when, you've done both those guys did a lot of deployments. I mean, honestly, they earned their paychecks, and they were both talented guys, right? And they still are. And the part that makes me sad is that it became, again, it was a situation that was created. The atmosphere was such that was an option. Like, when I first got to Naval Special Warfare Development Group, like, that wasn't even, that wasn't even on the table. But, we didn't have Active Valor. We didn't have Chris Kyle.
Right.
We didn't have Marcus Luttrell standing up at the Republican National Convention. Like, these were all,
Right.
all encouraged.
Yeah.
So it became a norm.
You want to hear an unpopular opinion?
fuck yeah, you
It's
got a
probably
couple.
from your community more
Yeah.
or less, which might make it even worse that I'm the one who likes it. I liked that movie.
The Zero Dark 30?
No,
Active Valor?
Active Valor.
Yeah. I never watched
I know
it.
it was a little cheesy at times.
never
The acting
watched
wasn't necessarily the best at times. Holistically, like the message and like Navy SEALs right here taking out bad guys, and the tactics were generally good and everything. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure there was like the Hollywood knee slide, like, spice it up,
Yeah.
give some entertainment. I liked the movie Act of Valor.
Hey, I never saw it, but this is just something that I think is true of any part of special operations, whether it's the Army or the Navy, the Air Force, Marine Corps, whatever. At one moment, we're the quiet professionals, and at the next moment, we're not. We want the there's a reason you push yourself. There's an ego part of it as well, and I think when you get to a place where you've been told these certain rules are the way they are, and then all of a sudden the people who are setting the rules are breaking them.
I know.
You're like, okay, ego's going to run,
One of my favorite scenes in that movie, I think he was a boat guy. You'll either love it or hate it. There's a scene in the movie, I'm going to ruin it for you real quick, but hopefully you watch it, where they drive a truck into a river trying to get an extraction, like as the boat, and they're getting chased by all these guys.
Yeah.
They have a fallen teammate that's got shot in the face, and they're trying to give them, medical attention. And they're like, and they're trying to get the boats there. Like, hey, we're coming in. Are you going to be there at the rendezvous spot? They're like, we're 30 seconds out. They're like, we are too. And they run the truck into the river. When the truck kind of goes into the river, it clears a field of fire for what are those boats called? The Swick boats? Swick boats, right?
The river ones?
The riverine boats. And they just open up on the bad guys with the miniguns and destroy everyone. I was like, oh, I've never seen a movie like try to make the riverine boats look cool. And those guys couldn't have looked any cooler.
That's awesome.
Because they inserted them flying low in a river attached to like a Chinook, and they drop it, and the guys fast rope into the boats, and they get moving knowing that the boys need them. It's awesome. It is. It's awesome.
Good. Well,
Anyway,
but at that point you say,
when the boat pulled up with the miniguns going out.
I get goosebumps thinking about it. It's because it's this. It's and me and you have this in common. I know I didn't tell you like my shot story because today's about you, you're my guest. Yeah. We both had 1/60th guys put it all on the line to come get the boys when they're hurt. I wouldn't be here today, and I don't think you would either.
God damn, man.
And so when you understand what it's like for the boys to put it on the line for the boys, like when I watch that scene, that's really what I think about. Not really like, kind of how cheesy or this or Hollywood. What they're conveying is when the guys are hurt and need it most, their teammates will come.
Yeah.
Hell or high water. They'll break all the rules. They'll move faster than they ever thought they could move fast. They'll move further than they thought they could move. With
Do
weights
things they would
that-
never
do.
Yeah.
Drink IV bags to make it happen. That's what men will do for their countrymen.
Yeah, man. And it's a beautiful thing to see.
It is a beautiful thing. God, it's a beautiful thing. All right, let's get back to it.
Sonny Mabry says,
Sonny.
Sup, fam, just checking in. Hope all is well and true. If not, it will be love, y'all guys. Love y'all guys. Drew a little more than Brent. Magnet slightly less than Max. All right. Thank you, Sonny. Right Wing Nut says, no, I meant the woman that was shot on January 6th. I could give a crap less about the woman that tried to run over the cop.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Okay. Well, we covered both. We covered our bases.
We covered it.
All right.
I give a shit about humans.
There's still, and you know, I'm glad you said, and I'm going to give that guy as well. He said that. It's just easy to say things.
Yeah, of course. It's flippant, and it's also the culture right now.
Right. Yeah. At the end of the day, that was an American.
Fuck yeah,
an
she's got a
American.
mom too, and
That's right.
But the whole thing, the whole thing's fucked. Everybody involved, right? Yeah.
Let's see. Buff Like Jesus says, Jimmy or Brent, opinion on Kyle Gawk, guy running for Congress in Connecticut. His story seems a little stolen valorish or a little over embellishing.
I'm not tracking that guy.
I don't know who that is.
Ah,
yeah,
dang it. I hate that.
don't. But
All right.
I mean,
I'll look into it. Kyle Gawk. Okay.
Soli says, was Matt Cole war crime book on SEAL Team 6 good? Chris Fetta said SEAL Team 6 guys who whistle blew were disgruntled and Cole had agenda. Brent thought it was good.
I haven't read the book. I do know Matt Cole, and I have spoken to him. And I think he is a serious journalist. But when I spoke to him, the things that I was talking to him about were things that he'd already talked about that I have direct knowledge of and differed. So I think Matt is a guy who has a good job doing what he likes to do, which is he believes, find things that are people that are fucked up and bullshit. And so that's the lens through which he sees things. And I believe Matt probably knows a lot more about the community than most people in the community based on my talks with him. And I think,
right. Yeah.
And I don't believe he is I don't believe he's out to get anybody. I do believe he wants to be a successful investigative journalist, and this is his vein for sure.
Yeah.
So it's on his, in order to pay his rent, he's got to find shit to talk about, right? So, I mean, and that's his job. I don't think whether he's disgruntled or not, I don't know, but I do know that he's a serious journalist.
Yeah. I don't think he's disgruntled. I think this is all opinion based. I don't think he's disgruntled. I don't think he has an axe to grind. There's nothing that would point that way to say he's anti this, anti that.
Some of the people that are talking to him are.
They are disgruntled for sure, and that will skew. And that will skew.
But he's a smart guy.
I did say it was good, and I've had to say this before. Holistically, that's not me saying, hey, 100% of everything he says is
right.
gold.
Yeah.
But there's something, although it's holistically, it was good. And some things can be accurate yet misleading at the same time. I've always said this, the wedding party bombing. That was horrible. But now we're judging people off of what we know in the aftermath.
Right. With the full benefit of hindsight.
And that I have a problem with. This will sound weird. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But I don't think desecrating bodies on the battlefield is a good thing. What's legally and moral should be upheld. However, living the life, I'm just telling you, I understand it.
Exactly. No, I'm with you 100%.
When you bury your brother because of savages did savage things, it does something to you. And war is war.
Yeah.
And so I'm just saying I understand it. So that's kind of all I'll say on that.
The Prussian says the female vet killed on January 6th was named Ashley Babbitt. Say her name.
Ashley Babbitt, because you asked me to.
The Diving Bee 23 says, got here late, but to answer regarding last week about Glover, on Cleared Hot episode 125 at the 2:15 mark.
Bringing receipts.
Yeah, I love it. He mentions he screened past and made it as an operator, then got in trouble, was sent to support, but after probation, choose to not be a 6 IC.
I will look into that. Dagnabbit, you guys leave me with homework. I shouldn't complain. I love it. All right, episode 125. to, yeah, I can't, Drew, episode 125
My bad.
to 215 mark. Okay, let me, I'm going to tell you what I think is happening, and I will look at it, and please remind me next week, and we'll talk about it. What I think is what he means, he screened and passed. Yes, he went to selection and passed. And then he went to OC to be an operator, and then he got in trouble. I don't remember him being in trouble, but I don't remember. OTC was long ago, and he wasn't in OTC for that long. So I don't know if he got in trouble or just didn't make the standard. I don't know. And then went to support. But after probation, which means once you fail OTC, sometimes they will give you another chance 12, 20, 18, 24 months later. And he chose not to go back to OTC. That's how I read that. I know it could be read like another way to seem like he was insinuating more. I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch it to make sure. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and read it that way.
All right, Just Know 11B says, stepping outside of being a smart arse, some people say veterans with PTSD should not own firearms. What say you, Tier 1 guys?
Opinion on this?
Go ahead.
I don't think, I'm about to piss people off. I don't think you should own a firearm if you have PTSD.
Yep.
If you have a mental illness,
Yeah.
and if there are times that you don't know where you are, or you think the enemy's there, or you go into some psychotic episode, you can't have a firearm. Tell me anywhere else where people are okay with people with mental issues having a firearm. You can be upset at me all you want for saying that. Don't be upset at me about it. Bring an argument to me about it,
Right.
and we'll talk about it. People get emotional and like, you're telling me I serve this country, I put my life on the line, and I can't have a Second Amendment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you, because I am consistent with my argument. Now, and not to get you, I'll give you a chance.
No.
My other problem is that if you don't really have any episodes and you are completely good all the time and you should have a firearm, then you don't have PTSD and you're just collecting benefits that you wanted to be there for a lifelong paycheck. So you're kind of caught in a catch-22 in that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
You're a smart man. What say you, Jimmy?
I don't know. I think you should not. I think if, regardless of whether or not you call, here's the thing: what is PTSD, right? And who determines it? And I've spent a lot of time. I've been diagnosed with it, and I have, been to see a lot of doctors. And one of the things that I remember about it specifically that made it interesting was that a very prominent doctor said to me, "Look, the thing about PTSD that makes it difficult is that it's not unlike cancer, insofar as it is very individual, right? That's why cancer is so hard to cure, because it's individual."
Okay.
So, however, there have been times when I'm like, you know what, I shouldn't be around a gun.
Yeah.
But should I be the one who determines whether or not I should be around a gun? And that does open some doors.
It does.
But look, here's what I say. And we talked about Gabby Giffords a little bit ago, right? That kid that shot her had done things clearly that showed he had a significant mental illness, did not know where he was, those types of things. Whether you're a veteran, a firefighter, a cop, whatever, probably shouldn't be around. It's a long way to say I agree with you.
Let me caveat it real quick, if I haven't made people mad enough. Because you said it's like cancer. Well, guess what? There's different stages to cancer. So as of right now, do I believe? Here's where I would give. If you want to break down PTSD into different levels, and I'm sure there's people smart enough to be like, hey, you're level 1, you're level 2, you're level 3, level 4. And the most severe level cannot have it. I'd go down that road. But since we don't have those levels, that's where I initially started at.
I wonder too, right? Like, is that something that you don't know what goes on in people's homes, right? You don't know. Is that an obligation for the family? Is it, and we say that, and then somebody goes sideways and smokes their family, and then how do you feel about that? Like, oh, I could have gotten involved, and should it be up to individuals? Should it, like,
Well, most
big
of
questions.
them, most of them are smoking themselves.
Exactly.
And if we'd have said, anyway,
Yeah.
That's a question on the federal background check, by the way.
is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Soli says, if loved one is near death, what should you say?
Do you know your Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ?
That's
Start
number
out.
one.
Start out with that.
If they say yes, we'll say see you soon. That's it. Buff like Jesus. Zanelli is ketchup and Kraft mozzarella cheese, but Libby's across the street is fire.
This guy is from that area.
Yeah.
He probably knows.
Yeah.
Hey,
Has
I-
Dave Portnoy been there?
I mentioned that I did grow up in a trailer park in Utah, so ketchup and mozzarella is fucking gourmet.
right? Oh, man. Okay, this is, let's talk about trailer parks. So my brother and I, we grew up in a double wide. And
Nice.
our pizza,
That's deluxe, dude.
our pizza, it was sliced bread. Do you remember us doing this? Sliced bread with ragu sauce, cheese, and then some pepperoni on top of that, and then you put it in the toast. You had to toast the bread first to make it kind of crusty.
Right, so it could hold the sauce and it. Yeah,
that was our homemade out of the refrigerator pizza.
Yep,
snack.
that's right. I do remember that.
Yep. That was exciting as a kid. Like, we're making our own pizza. It's amazing. Anyway,
Jimmy, you track Dave Portnoy?
I don't.
He's a pizza guy.
Yeah.
Does reviews on pizza places. He loves
okay.
New
The
Haven.
New Haven's a pretty good place to eat some pizza. When you guys come up, you'll
right.
see. Yeah.
Chase Lee says, could y'all give a shout out to the 19 warriors that gave their lives October 11 in Afghanistan? If you can, Nick has the names. Thanks, fellas.
Okay. Oh, Nick. No, Nick, or the social media guy you've been texting with. Yes, absolutely. We will get on that.
Soli says, Ranger Nick Irving said SEAL Team 6 Squadron treated Rangers like shite. Why did they do this, and should they have been kicked out?
Are you aware of this of this talk? I will go on a limb. Give me a second here and say it's probably true, but this is what I hate. And he does say what squadron it is.
Okay.
I'm sure we have a squadron that hasn't been as nice to people as other squadrons, and I would say some squadrons might be too friendly. I think there is a professional boundary to be had, but it's and he said this later that it was only that squadron and other squadrons were really nice to him, and it wasn't your squadron.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. I know that we had times. In fact, the night that I got injured, we had some of the Rangers made some accusations that guys had killed kids.
Really?
So there was always some tension.
Yeah.
In particular, it wasn't about which groups, like this battalion or this squadron. It was about individuals that had issues, and if they ended up in leadership positions, it caused problems. And it was really unfortunate because together, fuck man, if we were all leaning in hard, we were unstoppable.
Right.
You know?
I'll say this, and I don't know what happened, so you can always tell a story, but not tell the whole story.
Sure,
or it's your version of the story.
What you remember, even, you know?
So here's one that even though I didn't run it this way, I understand why. Well, sometimes we ran it this way. Depends on where we were. There were gyms we had at some times that were operator only gyms.
Yeah.
Like, this is our gym. It's not that big, and we can't have everybody in here. This is our gym. You have, sure, your gym isn't as good, but do push-ups, go lift ammo cans, do what that I've done before.
Right.
And if you want these things, then do what's necessary to come get these things.
Right.
So I don't know if it's some of that was going on, but I don't know.
Maybe.
I've had that before, but even though that's not the type of person that I am, I've been in those situations and I agreed with those things when you understand it,
The big picture.
holistically. I do want to say these names just real quick about Operation Red Wings, if you guys don't mind. Matthew G. Axelson, Danny Dietz, Jacquez Fonten, Seamus Gore, and if I say mispronounced any of them, please correct me. It's not rude at all. It's in fact it should be done. Corey Goodnature, Daniel Healy, Kip Jacoby, Eric Christensen, Jeffrey Lucas, Michael McGreevy, Marcus Morales, Michael Murphy, Shane Patton, James Ponder, Stephen Reich, Michael Russell, Chris Schergenbach, James Sue, and Jeffrey Taylor. Never forgotten. As long as your names are being told, you were not forgotten.
North, south, east, west says, just a regular here. You're right, Brett.
Yeah, you are.
They say don't meet your heroes. I won't put you through.
$6.99. That's nice. All right.
I've said it before, and I have proved it time and time again. And some people do put us up on a pedestal as being tier 1 guys, and there's certain things I'll like. Yeah, we should be put up on pedestals on certain things.
Yeah.
But here's the truth about it: I will impress you with how smart I am. I'll tell you that right off the bat. Sure, there's certain things. There's a reason I was tier 1.
Right.
I will also impress you with how dumb I am.
Exactly. How I can blow it right out my ass.
And how that same man that could make it here could make that right. That's the same man.
Yeah.
That's the duality of it.
Yeah.
I am both a very impressive person and an absolute moron wrapped into the same body,
and can explode into either format at any moment. Yeah.
So true though.
It is.
Yeah.
Man.
Joe Saunders, yippee-ki-yay, says, okay, sorry, got to ask because the tactical hot dog shirt is inspired. Would it be possible to also have a tactical Chicago hot dog shirt?
It's never enough.
Then max it out with tactical chili hot dog shirt.
Okay, Joe Saunders.
Well, let's see how these two shirts.
All right, we'll see how these go.
Excuse me. T. Chambers says, in James Yale coursework on conflict, what do you see as the true long-term cost of increasingly using soft and low-intensity conflict? Yep. Does relying on that capability erode the nation's ability to build stronger foreign policy?
Solid question.
Yeah, I think, my course on conflict is called The Impact of War on Its Willing and Unwilling Participants. And while I was a willing, I bring in a lot of the unwilling too. I think if the American public understood truly the volume of work that was done by the minority, it would be shocking.
It would be.
I also think that it put, whatever you think of guys, there's plenty of people here, obviously, people come here because they're interested and they have respect for the work, but there are a lot more people that don't, right? And one of the things that I felt like I learned in the military was that the civilian world doesn't know how to talk to the military, and the military doesn't know how to talk to the civilian world. Right. And because of that, people die. And so in my class, I try to bring people in that are very progressive and very conservative, men, women, different parts of the world. And I think based on the classes that I've had so far, I would say this: if we want to actually be serious about trying to avoid war and to use it only when it's absolutely necessary, we need to invest significantly in the foreign service in ways that can be meaningful when it comes time to deal with things like we're dealing with in Iran.
Okay.
Right Wing Nut wants to know, Brent, did you get a 9-banger in the toilet?
Those are bad pranks. I did.
I can't imagine somebody would do that.
Yeah. We're talking about like an Afghan toilet where it's not like those flimsy walls with space underneath, like it's enclosed.
Yeah. It's quiet in there.
Oh, it wasn't after that.
Human Performance, TRT.
I know those guys.
Hey, fellas.
What's up, Phil?
Hey, fellas.
Bill.
Dwazi says, who wouldn't want to be regular on a multi-million-dollar podcast? Brent plays the long game on the pranks. Magnet, your hot dog roller was never thrown out. It is your wedding present.
Nice.
Solely1234 says, Matt Cole said, SEAL Team 6 guys said, SEAL Team 6 guys who go public, though great operators, Rob O'Neill, Matt Biz, etc., aren't the best of their community. Agree?
We covered that already.
Yeah, I actually believe, I understand where Matt's coming from and then the guys who would tell him that, but I don't think you can conflate someone's ability to operate with whether or not they went public. Because I can speak mostly, I worked very closely with Matt, and I'd put that fucking guy up against anybody in shooting competition,
Yeah.
long or short.
I know. I'm telling you, it's very consistent with Matt. I've had a lot of phone calls, and some who will be public, and some who were like, "Hey, I'll just talk to you, but keep it off. Keep what we say offline."
Yeah.
And it wasn't about Matt's shooting abilities, but they will always give Matt Bisson a lot of credit for what a solid operator he was, and I love to hear that. I love to hear that.
I don't know.
North, South, East, West says, touching the dragon. How many copies sold? I just made +1. So best as always to Brent, Drew, and Magnet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more. That's the answer.
That's it. Justin 11B says, no tactical Chicago hot dog shirts. Nothing good happens in Illinois north of I-80. Hell F no to Chicago.
All right.
All right. We got a lot. We have diversity of opinion in our fan group.
Nice.
They keep it colorful. Aldo says, the acting was pure arse. Still very entertaining.
There you go. I wouldn't go as far as say it was pure arse. It was sure it wasn't. It wasn't Ben Affleck. I mean, you have to grade it on the curve that it is. Was it good acting for active Navy SEALs? Yes.
That's not their day job.
That's not their day. I
will
will say yes. Was it? Was it a Hollywood actor? No, but they didn't say they were Hollywood actors.
These
so
are
that's
real
where
Navy
that's
SEAls.
right. That's why I give them a pass. But it was entertaining. We agree on that.
Eclectic Carbon says, what are some things completely unrelated to the military or your business that you guys nerd out about? That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Hand me that book.
Yeah,
This is it, man. I brought this to give to Brent and his crew. And when I got to Yale, man, I was, 52 years old. I tried to read these kind of things, and I just didn't have the capacity. And I met these professors that have been working on this stuff for the majority of their adult life, and they see the beauty of it and the ways in which it can be helpful to you as an individual and your community. This is what I geek out about. Is this literature? So for example, like we were talking earlier, and I outlined some things in here. This is the Odyssey. It's going to be a big movie this summer. It's going to be the Odyssey's coming out, and like I put this particular thing in the book that I gave to him. This is a patch made. It's Spike's patch, December 23rd, 2006, when he was killed. And I put it in here. And I put it in book 17 of the Odyssey, and it's at this place where Odysseus is coming home after being at war and then trying to get back through all the trials, tribulations, and stupid shit he does. And he gets back, and I'm going to read this. As they spoke, Argos. So Odysseus gets back to Ithaca, which is where he is from, but no one can recognize him. Argos, the dog that lay there, raised his head and his ears. Odysseus had trained this dog, but with no benefit. He left too soon. So this was Odysseus's dog. He took off he fought in Troy, and then he took him a while to get back home. He left too soon to march on holy Troy. The master gone, boys took the puppy out to hunt wild goats and deer and hares, but now he lays neglected, without an owner, a pile of dung from mules and cows. The slaves stored heaps of it outside the door until they fertilized the large estate. So Argos lay there, Argos the dog, lay there dirty, covered with fleas, and when he realized that Odysseus was near, he wagged his tail, and both of his ears dropped back. He was too weak to move towards his master. At a distance, Odysseus had noticed, and he wiped his tears away. So this guy's gone 20 years. Nobody knows he's back. And his dog knows a deal.
His dog knows who he is.
And that,
Gets
this
you.
was written 2,500 years ago. And none of that shit's changed. And I could keep going. That's what I geek out about.
That's
man.
because
You'll find yourself in these books, and you will have a different appreciation for these things that we're facing. Sorry, man, I'm religious about this shit.
truth. But that's because truth doesn't have an expiration date.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So I'm gonna send you one back. So I geek out on car stuff and history.
Dude, I need to get in that garage and get that going.
Here's it was from Gates of Fire, and
Yeah.
I told you about this one earlier, and it hit home to me about because everyone says war's horrible. It can be,
Yeah.
but I never. Anyway, this sums up war to me. It's when Deinechus or Deinekes goes to the alpha male Spartan and says war is horrible, and Polynices says, "Let me tell you about war, son." And he says this: "War, not peace, produces virtue. War, not peace, purges vice. War and preparation for war call forth all that is noble and honorable in a man. It unites him with his brothers and binds them in selfless love, eradicating in the crucible of necessity all which is base and ignoble. There in the holy mill of murder, the meanest of men may seek and find that part of himself concealed beneath the corrupt, which shines forth brilliant and virtuous, worthy of honor before God. Do not despise war, my young friend, nor delude yourself that mercy and compassion are virtues superior to manly valor."
That's a lot. There's a lot to unpack there.
It's a lot to unpack. It is. It's a lot to unpack. But in a
Yeah.
in a warrior society, it's some of the truest words I've ever heard.
Yeah.
North, south, east, west says for Flucky 7, James, Sig or Glock?
Glock.
Thank you, Glock. Oh, that was
Didn't have to think long.
no
you know
hesitation.
we can disagree on Trump. That one, our friendship was in the balance.
We're on the line. All right.
Which is surprising because I love Glocks. It's what I shot 1,000,000 rounds through. But you guys are traditionally more aligned with SIG, so I didn't. Yeah.
I didn't like them. They'd rust. They were shitty. I didn't like them.
All right, you're a good man.
I'm a Glock guy. You can throw it in the fucking. You know why? I'll tell you why. I went down to your compound one time, and there was a guy who used to work there, and he was now a rep, and he took, I don't know, like probably 8 or 9 Glocks, and he ran a cable through them, and he hooked them to the back bumper of his truck, and we drove out to the range on a gravel road. And when we got out there, he said, "Hey, man, those things will shoot. Pick any one of them up." And they damn did. And I'm like, I need that.
What more do you want on a no-fail mission?
Exactly. Right.
All right.
That'd be an awesome commercial for Glock.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Gus says, love you guys. Christ is king.
Oh, thank you, Gus.
North, south, east, west, back end says, okay, I'll say it since James has brought it up 12 times. Brent, what's in the garage? Did you complete your Corvette dreams without telling us?
I don't know anything. For some
Actually,
reason.
I actually never told him. I said on the Andy Stumpf. All right. I actually said on the Andy Stumpf podcast, he goes, what's one thing, like, what's your dream? Like, what would you do? And I was like, this is the most shallow, worst thing in the world, to say publicly, but you get put on the spot, and this is true. I was like, I've started businesses, I've worked really hard, I've done a lot of things that I've wanted to do. I still have it, a 200,000-mile Dodge Ram. I was like, I just love Corvettes, and I would love to have a Corvette one day. That's my shallow, and that's my first thing.
America,
right? I bought a 2025 Corvette Z06, black on black, exactly what I wanted. And I never said it. I didn't want to tell the Patreon. I never really wanted to post it on Instagram. Me and my vet Z06, because it just seems like I don't want to flaunt it or
Right.
be like, hey, like look what I have bought.
That Patreon coming.
But yes, I finally bought my dream car.
Dude, it is a bad motor scooter.
I'm not that guy. I'm not flashy. I don't buy a lot of things. I just don't. Enough, and I finally bought that.
Good for you, man.
Thanks.
That's why we work.
He waited too late. He should have done it a long time ago.
I should have.
Should have done it a long time ago. All right. But he's cheap like that. Hard Stuck says, could either of you have avoided winning the Enemy Marksmanship Award, like if you did things differently?
Yeah, go fuck yourself. I'm kidding. It's funny, man. I actually struggled after I got shot. I remember being in the hospital, and there were some people that were kind of famous that were going to come bring me those awards, and they were concerned because, I grew up reading books where guys called a Purple Heart the marksmanship medal, for the enemy, and I topped that off with, holy fuck, I feel like I failed my crew because I got hurt, and it changed the dynamics of the mission, and people had to expose themselves to fire to help me, and the helicopter crews, so it was a pretty serious thing. Like, I can joke about it now, and
Yep.
but man, my wife, though, God bless her, she's like, well, if you'd have been a little bit faster, maybe you wouldn't limp. I'm like,
It's a good woman.
yeah.
I struggled with that for a while. It's taken a long time for me to come out and say, well, of course, yes. Could I have done something better or different, better to not get shot? Absolutely. You can say that about every winner or loser of every game, everything in life.
Yep.
Did I make the best decisions with the information I had available to me? And am I okay with that? I never really gave myself that grace. I always said, you should have done, you should have. I didn't know enough to do that. I made the best decision with the information I had at the time, and I sent it. And it took me a long time to say, I'm okay with it. And it's one of the reasons I was such in a hurry to get back to combat.
Sure, yeah.
Because I wanted to prove and that's what's funny. No one else was asking me to prove myself. All these things we just stack up on ourselves. I couldn't wait to get back to combat to prove I could be trusted. I don't make mistakes in combat. I can make up for this. I came back wiser.
Yeah.
It was a good thing. But yeah, it weighed on me for a long time.
When I got locked up after I had my little incident with the cops, and they helped me, I was suicidal, and I, ended up being in the hospital locked up where I couldn't hurt myself. And the psychiatrist that I was working with, psychologist that I was working with, I call him the Dragon Tamer in my book, he came and he had a legal pad. And he's like, hey man, write down like the top 3 or 4 things in your life that you just that are horrible for you. And the first thing I wrote was that I failed the mission, got the dog killed, put my buddies at risk. Yeah. Fucked up the mission. Because in my mind, we probably would have rescued that fucker if I hadn't got, you know what I mean? Like all the fucking catastrophizing that you do.
I don't want to interrupt too much, but I meant to ask you this on the recorded. I don't want to miss this opportunity again. You're talking about the Bo Bergdahl. You thought he was in the area. In hindsight, did you guys ever find out if he was in the area, or how close you were to him, or any more information on that?
Yeah, I think there were details that pointed out that they certainly were in contact with him, but that there was nothing definitive that he was in the area.
Okay.
And I've actually talked to one of the legal people on his side, and he said that their best information is that he wasn't there. Okay. I have, through an intermediary, asked if he ever heard the helicopters.
Okay.
And he never heard anything like that.
All right. Probably makes you feel a little better, right? I mean, of sorts. I hate to say that, maybe
I don't know.
Yeah. I know. I can tell you why it would. I tell you why it wouldn't. But okay. All right. I'm
sorry.
No,
it's good. But the doctor actually did something that I think you did it yourself. You were capable. It seems like it, that you had the capacity to work yourself through it. But I didn't. I couldn't forgive myself at all. And so what I did is I wrote. He said to me, "Now listen. Number 1 was you failed the mission, got the dog killed. You're a piece of shit. All the things that I was thinking." He's like, here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down about that night and everything that happened. And I'm like, oh, okay, fuck you. If I could have killed that dude and got away with it, I'd have fucking beat him to death right there in the fucking, seriously.
Right.
He's like, here's the, write it down. And that's the last thing I wanted to do, right? So then I start writing it down, and I did like a paragraph. Well, went on a mission, got shot, fuck. Now I'm a piece of shit.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. He's like, I'm going to need you to write. I want you to start 30 minutes before the planning. And I want to know who you saw, what you smelled, the noises you heard. Yeah. And I want you to end when you woke up in the hospital in Germany. And I'm like, you motherfucker. Yeah. And then he left. So, and I'm locked up in my pajamas in the psych ward, right? And so I start going, we're getting to the same spot here, man. Okay. I go through it. And it was like 3 or 4 pages, actually, when I finally really fucking sat down and dug into it. And at the end, he sat across from me and he said, hey, man, look, what did you do wrong? And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, I've read this. You wrote it. He goes, what did you do wrong here? Because it seems to me, based on what I can read, given what you knew at the time, this was something you had done in the past and had been effective with.
Right.
So you had experience. The conditions were a little bit different, but you didn't have any control over that. What did you do wrong? And I had to say, wow, I guess I didn't do anything wrong. It just didn't work out. And it took me that much fucking punishment and bullshit that I put myself and my wife and my kids and people through. It took me that being locked up by myself with a fucking notepad to go through it and say, okay, look, I'm a human being. And this time, when I decided to dance with consequences, I got banged up, Yeah.
I didn't take it well.
Yeah.
I eventually did, and I hit a lot of things.
And you were out with other. You were with a partner force, right?
I was.
And then you had what? 3 other guys?
3 or 4 partner force, and then, troop commander, commo guy, dog guy. 3 other guys. I don't think I've ever talked about some of this stuff, but I couldn't use my right arm to bathe myself, so I'm having, and I wouldn't accept help because I'm like, I'm not dead.
Yeah.
But then while I'm in the shower and I can't reach all my body parts because of the consequences of my perceived actions, I just sit there and cry in the shower.
Yeah.
I try to put my shoes on, but you can't put shoes on with you can't tie your shoes with one hand.
Right.
And it's just so funny in a weird way.
Wow.
And
it's interesting.
And I'd cry. I'd sit there and have to like hold back my tears, and or they dribble out like a and then try to hide them and walk out the closet to my family like everything's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just cried in the closet because I couldn't put my shoes on. I don't know why the little things broke me, and the bigger things didn't. And I even now I haven't thought about it in a long time, and I guess I probably should.
I might get you a notebook.
Try to.
No, because you'll beat my head into the fucking.
Yeah.
No.
I'll tell you this. I don't, and I get it. Here's the other thing. There's not. I hate that psychologists do this, because I think the mind is obviously different, because it's different how you deal with things, how you can deal with things, and I only tell people the way I deal with things. I don't know if it's good for you. I know you should try it. I know if what you're doing isn't working, let's try this.
Exactly.
But here's this crazy thing I do. I put it in a little box, and I put it in the back of my mind, and I don't think about it.
Yeah. Actually, what that is, that's your backpack. We all have them. And when you fucking get knocked down, all that shit's going to come out.
They've told me that for years. And,
when it does, just have some. Just give me a ring.
It might. But guess what? So far, I got other. Yeah. Life has moved on. I have other things to deal with. Now, don't get me wrong. On the anniversary of those really bad events, I dig back there. I open it up. I think about it a lot. I do whatever. I don't get drunk, but I celebrate. I remember and before I go to bed that night, I put it back in this little box, and I say, "See you next year."
Yeah, no.
and that's what I do. I hated exposure therapy. I did. Like,
It's the only thing that worked for me.
and I'm okay with that. But
Yeah.
obviously, exposure therapy hasn't worked for a lot of people, and I feel like
Sure.
we're just saying this is the answer, and this is
No, there's a lot of answers.
right. And so here's all that is a lead up to this is a question I have for you, and it has to do with PTSD. This is one of my biggest gripes with PTSD, and I'm not that guy that likes to just change an acronym and say, it's new now. But someone else explained this to me, and I said, you know what, I'll agree with that. I actually like to call it PTSI, post traumatic stress injury, because a disorder says you're messed up, you'll be messed up for the
And that can
rest
never
of-
change.
and that can never change. It's a disorder. And I think it's more of an injury. I think it's like any injury. It's the worst it's going to be when it initially happens, but you should be working on it and healing, and it should get better. It's crazy to me to think that after you almost get your leg blown off and you lose your dog, that, how old were you when that happened?
42.
42. That at 43, that, you're dealing with that still. And then by 73, you're still dealing with it at the same amount. That should not happen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So can PTSD but I mean, I just said that a little bit in a leading question. So I apologize. I feel like I'm almost forced into that. Can it be healed? Should it be healed? Is it diminished?
This is what I
what's
think.
the words that I'm trying to, I think you get the gist of it.
I think that you can't, and I get this from like Toni Morrison. You're going to lose chunks. Nobody gets out of this shit clean, man.
And he said it best. He says, when it was on your interview, I was watching it in preparation where he goes, when you touch war touches your back.
Yeah. I think, and look, pick someone who wasn't in the military that had significant auto accident or like was involved in a crime or someone was a victim of a crime or
Right.
all of those things are going to put difficulties in your path. You don't have to be a combat guy to have it, although it's effective if you want to make some money when you retire, right? You know what I'm saying, right? So
I do believe that.
yeah,
I'm a little sinister with that.
right. And when you incentivize sickness, right? So
Yeah. Nailed it.
I personally believe that you do not ever, it's never going to go away. You can't drink it away. You can't fuck it away. You can't
Not the truth.
gamble it. You can't, like, it's not going to go away. The only thing you can do is figure out how to dance with it and keep going.
Yeah. I agree with you, because when I call it an injury, just like your leg,
Yeah.
just like my arm, it will never go back to 100%. I actually call it my new 100%. It's not my new 100%. It's just, it is what it is. But has it gotten incredibly better? Of course. It's been years. There is and has to be a healing process. And if you're, whatever it is you're doing, if it's not a healing process, you're doing it wrong. And that's not on you, necessarily on you. Like, you're trusting other people to give you good advice, or you have to look for other things. But there has to be healing. It can be done.
For sure. I think where the rub is here, where the crux is that there is a truth to the idea that at some point this trauma has affected you in a way that you can't see your way out of it. You can't. I like, depression, I say it this way. It's the most selfish of diseases or whatever you want to call it. Because all you think about is yourself. How I fucked this up. I did these things wrong. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna. You're absolutely right. You're right. It's just one of those things. It's the absolute hardest to accept when you're going through it.
Or see it.
Or see it, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. But everyone in it.
You know who's a fucking really good example? You should probably have him out. You should probably have him on. Jay Redman.
I was just thinking of him the other. You know what? I was watching In Waves and War. I just talked to DJ. By the way, DJ says hi.
He is a good boo.
DJ says hi. I told him that you were coming on.
Awesome. He's a good kid, man.
And I watched that In Waves and War, and it has a lot to do with
Plant medicine.
Plant medicine, and someone told a story. No, I'm absolutely wrong on
Alex?
this. No, the reason why I thought about him was I was watching the Andy Stump episode, and you said he came in and said hi to you. Correct? Hopefully I'm not crossing wires. And you're like, "What's wrong with your face?"
Dude, that's the story, right? Like, I didn't know who the fuck he was. And I had heard about him in the hospital because he was a legend at the hospital. He's like the dude who got shot in the face, and he was cool. And he put this thing on his wall. I was like, hey, don't come in here and fucking feel sorry for me. And the President Bush, put it in his office and had Jay in his office later. But I didn't know any of that shit. All I know is I get out of the hospital after I've gotten, up in Bethesda. I get back to Virginia. And my wife comes in. She's like, hey, man, this guy's coming over with his wife. His name's Jay Redmond, and he was at SEAL Team, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, what for? She goes, I don't know, really. He just wants to come visit. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So he comes in. I don't know him. And he's got like a couple of notebooks. I'm like, hey, man. He's like, hey, I'm Jay. I'm like, hey, man, what the fuck happened to your face? He goes,
an AK round to the face.
I got shot in the face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'll get back to the other stuff. But later on, I'm like, you get asked by the Olympic hockey team to go talk. I'm getting asked by the fucking dog pound. He goes, well, you got shot in the leg. I got shot in the face.
That's right.
Fuck.
And I've talked to him on the phone before, and he was a really nice guy. And it reminded me, I was like, I need to ask that guy on the show. So actually, I will. I'll invite him on the show.
Was he came over on his own and with his wife. Again, proof that God makes some people better than others. They're like, out of the blue, he sat down with his busted ass face and his fucked up arm, and he wrote down lessons learned after he got wounded, things that he didn't know that would help his family, things that he could use to help himself. Like, he created a manual on his own,
roadmap,
and he gave it to every guy that got wounded after him.
That's awesome. Did you keep it? You still got it?
I probably do somewhere.
But you don't have Charlie Beckwith's.
Dude, I threw away all my pictures. I cut, I was like, I'm a piece of shit. There's no, I don't want any history. I don't want any of it. Like, I don't have any pictures of when I was a kid. I don't like.
If you guys wanted to find out what I'm talking about with the Charlie Beckwith letter, watch Monday's episode and we'll talk about
I got a lot of things in my life, but I got a letter from Charlie Beckwith.
I think that's the coolest thing.
Dude,
God, I think that's the coolest thing. Let's go back to Super Chats just real quick.
Just another
See if we can get to the
B
end of them.
says, intriguing answer on my PTSD question, sticky subject. I think there are varying degrees as well as how one responds to therapy. If pills are your fix, you're a weak SOB. No guns.
Whiskey's what you need.
No guns if you push through like a veteran.
I am very again, I speak in generalities. So I hate it when I say something like, well, let me tell you this one thing. But yeah.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, I don't like psychological medicines. I stay away from them. I don't want something else like influencing my like.
They really helped me.
my
I felt
brain.
the same way. They really helped me.
And
They did. They helped me get to a place where I could work through things.
But here's my finish to it. And again, generally and actually I should say generally and hopefully.
Right.
But if you need them, let's work off of them. Like we have let's try to get to where we're not dependent on pharmaceuticals. Because I know this: the more pills you have in your life, not the healthier you are.
No, I think 100%.
Or at least to a minimum. Like I have to have this. Guys, I knew some guys were taking 20 pills a day.
Oh yeah.
For all sorts of things.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah, but I think too, if you're also like, if you're a healthcare provider and they're like, hey man, these things work. You're like, fuck man, I know this works, but I do think there is something to be said about trying other methods. So
Right.
plant medicine has been very, very effective.
Right.
You had Alex on here. Like,
I will. Which
Alex West.
Oh,
You had him.
I've had him. Yeah.
And he's cutting edge on that shit, right?
The nicest guy that if you didn't know any better, you didn't know he had killed people in his past.
A lot of people. A lot of
And I
people.
love that about Alex. I'm a big fan of Alex.
Me too.
Here's just an update. Like, when he was on the podcast, I was so moved by him and how humble he was, how nice he was, what he was doing with veterans. I was like, I get emotional with veterans, and I was like, and he told me about the surfboard project. So I was like, we're going to donate a surfboard.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How much is it? And I was like, all right, put us down. And we just sent our logos over, and he just identified a veteran.
Dude,
and
that's awesome.
I mean, I said, we don't have to. I said, if you could, do you mind doing like a Tier 1 podcast surfboard that we'll donate? But if not, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, we'll. And so this veteran took it, and so we got a Tier 1 podcast surfboard coming up.
Dude, that's awesome.
And in the nicest way, here's my plan. When I get a picture of it, I'm going to tag the next podcast, veteran podcast. Essentially, I'll probably call beforehand to make sure that it's kosher. That I'm not just being a jerk, and basically calling out the next veteran podcast and be like, we donated a surfboard to a veteran.
What about you?
What about you? And then hopefully they do almost like the ice bucket challenge, and then they do it, and after they get their surfboard, then they tag Jocko and be like, Jocko, we did a surfboard. Where you at? And just.
Let me back up on something. We're talking about meds, PTSD, how you put things in a box. I think what you have done by creating this is the therapy that you enjoy. We've talked about some fucking really tough times, just sitting here bullshitting before we're even on the air. And we've also talked about some tough things here on the air, and that we have normalized that. That's how you get that shit out of your backpack. It'll come up again, and guess what you're going to do? You're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I do think there's something about normalizing it, because when it feels if you're hiding it because it's abnormal,
Or you're embarrassed,
and you're
ashamed. Yeah,
that I agree with you. I don't.
But you're doing it like in this conversation.
I don't put it back there because I'm ashamed of it. I put it back there.
Just rather not deal with it.
Of sorts.
Yeah.
I put it back there because it's not beneficial to my life. The Bible says, think on these things. And it says a list of things to think about. And it's, what is good, what is pure, what is joy, Drew, just so I get it right. Can you tell me what the Bible tells you to think on?
Yeah, it's Philippians. I believe it's chapter 2 or 4. It says, whatsoever things are good, whatsoever things are a good report, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are worthy. Did I already say good report? Think on these things, and the peace of God will rule in your heart.
And I think the mind is a very powerful thing.
That's awesome.
And it's like drinking, right? Good and bad things have similarities by this. There's nothing wrong with some drinks, but if you drink too much long enough, you will be addicted to it. And now it is kind of alcoholism. It wasn't, but now it is. If you think on these things that are negative, and if you can get them early enough and stop and say, no, I'm not going to let this take control of my life. I'm not going to think on these things. You can get a hold of it. But once you let that go so far for so long, it will consume you. I do believe that. So my choice is to stop it early and think on those things.
Nice.
It's just me.
No, hey man, that's
your
navigation.
I like that we have this podcast, because if someone's tried what you've done, they're like, oh, well, let me try this. If they want to try this first and it doesn't work, you have other options. Yeah. But I am tired of people maybe not having
throwing your hands in the air.
Right. Yeah. All right. Let's. What else we got?
Josh Husky says June 3rd will be the passing of my wife's first husband, Specialist Robert Allen Pierce, killed in action, Afghanistan. The Diving Bee says, exactly agree. I heard how you put it. Wanted to put out where and when for the record. As a support guy, I know how people take where you work and think operator.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Chase Lee says, sorry, gents, phone died and I missed your reply to giving a shout out to the 19 killed in action.
Oh, you're good. But we absolutely did.
We did it.
Thank you so much for doing that.
Six's mom
is
showing
feeling
up big
generous
tonight. We as civilians only had hero worship for SEAL Team 6. It was awful when names came out because they should have had anonymity. It's sad because you realize some want fame and money more than history. I want to thank you for protecting the Constitution. Aloha from Kauai.
Happy to do it. Happy to do it.
Holy Fook says, sorry, folks, been on a flight to Lost Wages, so missed most of the live. I know, James, you don't use hair gel anymore, but when you had hair, what was your hair gel routine and recommendation?
Yeah,
I got a quick question before that. When did you lose your hair? Because in your pictures, you
pretty young. I was in my early 20s. I was
Okay.
starting to go bald, and I was like, I'm shaving
early
my head.
20s.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah. I never used hair gel. I couldn't do product. I just didn't have enough hair for it, and I didn't know how to use it. So there was no product. Maybe I should have had some product. It would have lasted.
Braden Medlin says, you always ask Sig or Glock, but what about Beretta?
because there's a reason it doesn't even make the options.
I got some gun geek buddies that have some pretty badass pistols that are like not names I don't know. I'm not a gun guy.
Smith & Wesson has one that I like. The what do they call it? Not just the MP40 or the MMP is a good one. I make fun of Beretta a little bit. They actually have great shotguns, and they do. And I will ingest like they don't make great pistols. Let me tell you, it's not the pistol that makes the shot; it's the man holding it.
Right.
It is. Give me what's that one pistol that everyone hates on? It's super cheap. It's super bad. Your buddy with the mustache, came in forgetting his name. He was going to compete with this pistol as a joke.
Taurus.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Well-
I can't think of it right now.
Oh,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah. Let me tell you, you put even that pistol. You'll think of it here in a second. High point.
High point. You're
Oh,
right.
okay.
And it sounds a little hotty, but guess what? Put a high point in your hand, you'll win a gunfight. Yeah, it's just true.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
North, south, east, west. Here's some vet cash.
Nice.
I don't know if that's Chevette or Corvette, but we appreciate it.
Nice.
Or it's just veteran cash. So there's that. Eclectic Carbon says, black on black Corvette. You may just get invited to Shadow Force if you're lucky.
Shadow Force.
North, south, east, west says, oh, there it is. I mean, vet, as in Corvette cash. There it is.
Oh, thank you.
Just another 11B says, are you going to wear a members only jacket and gym coach shorts when you drive your Corvette?
Hey, the windows are tinted. You wouldn't know.
That's right.
Probably in there.
gets-
He's
until he
probably
gets
in
out.
there
Not unless T-tops are
in Speedo.
So real quick, if anyone wants to know how I'm doing, I don't normally whip out a computer in the middle of a live. Guess what? Our live tonight, I had a misspelling in it.
Oh, there it is.
Someone just texted
Oh,
me.
it's sealed. That's why they keep saying sealed. Team 6. I didn't even know that.
That's awesome.
That's
funny.
funny.
And then someone just texts me and goes, hey, just so you don't get any more backlash, just want to they text me a screenshot of it. Just want to let you know you had a misspelling tonight.
Well, earlier in the live, somebody did a chat. They said sealed, and then they filled in the acronym. They were like,
Oh, did they?
and they did
I saw
something
that. I'm like,
with
what
a
the fuck
T.
is that? Yeah.
I think they did tactical for the T or something
Sierra
like that.
Leone Tactical.
And so I was like, okay, that's interesting. I didn't know.
So Green Beret will never die, and now we have Navy SEALs.
Yep, the sealts. That's why they said which is better, like sealts or grays or something. Okay.
We have got to grow so other people can do this.
Oh man.
Not me. I'm busier than I should be, and that's where it shows.
We're just dudes, just like you. All right. Right wing message, James. I may not agree with you on very much at all, but you certainly earned your opinion, sir. 1,000
Yeah,
thanks.
well, thank you.
For your service. I mean that. Thank you for coming on.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. We're all Americans here. We're walking each other home.
Aldo says if you could go through life with zero trauma hardship, you would develop into a very undesirable person
Yeah.
to be around. You would experience no growth.
You're not wrong.
Interesting.
Brad-
Oh, this another one's going to get me here for a second.
Brad Freeman. PTSD was invented by the service dog industrial complex.
All right.
I told him earlier in the text, I said, you forgot to put Israeli.
Yeah. So here we go again. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, man. I think I'm on it already. I think I know where we're going.
I call them look at me dogs.
Yep. Oh, yes, sir.
I call them look at me dogs. And again, it's
Yes,
not
sir.
because I hate veterans and no one's done what I've done. It's not that. The truth is guys like me and you, we've seen too much. We know too much. And yeah. And there are people that either want a dog or they want to look at me dog, or like I was at Soft Week and this guy's dog went down with heat exhaustion because he wouldn't leave his dog at home. Granted, I don't know his situation and it may be so dire, but I'm telling you, I have a hard time believing that this many people cannot leave their home without the companion of a dog to keep them from losing their mind. I won't buy that.
Yeah. So
And it goes back. I'm sorry, and it goes back to my argument about resources. There are people who could benefit from this, and so if everyone claims one and everyone wants one, the people who could really benefit from it are going to be the ones who's shorted.
No, I think
That's
you're
my
right.
problem.
And like, look, it's already happened. Like the airlines are like, hey, no, wait a minute, you know,
Right.
right? So,
Right.
And again, legitimately, I did have a service dog for a very long time, and what she did, and she's still alive, but she's old now. She can't go with me everywhere. She'd be sitting here with me. What she did for me personally was get my head out of myself. She's got to eat. She's got to drink. She's got to go to the bathroom. And I know that her life is completely dependent upon what I can do to give her that, right? Like I have to give her the exposure that she gets to the rest of the world. And so for me, it was good because it got me out of my head and I stopped feeling sorry for myself and I had something to do. But then there was a time where I was like, okay, because here's the deal. If you have not yet done this, and I get calls from people all the time about getting a dog, and I'm like, listen, when you have a dog and you go to the airport, you don't have any privacy. Everybody who loves dogs is coming up to talk to you. So
Right.
in a way,
For
for
sure.
me,
Yeah.
that was a good thing because I was like, I couldn't talk to people. I didn't want to be around anybody. I couldn't go in the bathroom and stand at a pisser with my back. Like I couldn't do it. The dog helped me do that. And I had to talk to people because they were like, hey, what kind of dog is she? And I'm like, you know, like, so there are good things. But again, just like you mentioned earlier, in fact, I remember talking to a ship about mental health stuff, and this guy came up to me, one of the senior enlisted guys. He's like, listen, man, these kids, as soon as we say we're going on deployment, they're like, oh, I feel suicidal, right? So they're using the system to
Yes.
benefit. I think there's some of that with the dogs as well.
Absolutely. Just another fun fact. You want to know who texted me about the misspelling? My neighbor who's watching the show.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
in a weird way. Again, I don't mean it to sound like unhumble, but let's say you were a fan of the show. Like, what are the chances of you moving like right next door and the podcast? That's not what this happened. Like he just he I think he came. I can't remember how he knew I did a podcast, and he was like, oh, okay, I'll start watching, and now he starts to watch it. But that would be crazy to just move in next door to like, oh, my next door neighbor is a retired Delta Force operator with a podcast that I enjoy watching, and it's happening right next door to me all the time. I'll just
Come sit down.
I told him, I said next time just come on over and tell me.
That's awesome. It's cool to see these messages coming
Come sit
through,
on the
man.
guest couch with Magnet. There's a spot right there.
For sure.
People are scared to sit next to me.
Yeah.
Aldo says the mind is like a hazardous power tool.
100%.
Just another 11B says, and you just went to my point on PTSD. Brilliant, gents. Absolutely brilliant. Nailed it. If you can learn to work through, that's what we do. If you can't, you're faking the funk with PTSD and shouldn't own firearms.
There's some truth. There is some truth to that. We just can't deny that and say, oh, that's not possible. There's some truth to that.
Yeah.
Just another 11B again says, thoughts on the VAE's memo on MDMI trials.
I'm not up to date on that. Are you?
Yeah, a little bit. They're just trying out different psychedelics. So I think they've done psilocybin, and now they're doing MDMA, and those are kind of lightweights. The real heavy duty stuff. If you saw that, the waves.
Or the Ibogaine?
Yeah, I did Ibogaine and I did 5-MeO, and that's
Right. Yeah.
that's the That's the family truckster.
How was the Ibogaine?
It was a beating.
Yeah.
In a good way, but what it does is it shows you a side of what you are.
Did you do it here or did you go to Mexico?
I went to Mexico, and then I followed it up with the 5-MeO, and that is a rocket ship.
Yeah.
And it is the combination of those two together and in that whole system, which is ceremonial. It was life. I'll just say it this way, man. Most of my life, I thought about killing myself, and I've never loved myself until I did that.
Yeah.
And I've not thought about suicide since then. And I can honestly say I love myself because I saw what I am.
Wow.
And some of the guys, I'm not a religious guy, but a lot of the guys that I was there with were Christian, and they were like, "Yeah, I saw God." Like 100%. Like it was a beautiful thing.
We've got Joe Saunders, Yippee-ki-yay, says, no one feel bad about hair. My kids and wife say, what happened? You were like Fabio.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, I got married and had kids. Bye-bye hair.
Yeah. So thanks for bringing that up, family. Yeah.
And the last one so far of the night, it's north, south, east, west,
All
says,
right.
couch equal faint odor of hot dogs.
Nice.
So the guy that makes my shirts is a disabled vet. He was a Marine, jumped out of helicopters. Last week when he dropped off the T-shirts, his benefits were cut in half because they said that he can go back to work. He needs double hip replacement and a knee replacement. And his benefits were cut in half because they said he can go back to work.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You want to know why that's happening? Because there's so many scammers faking the system. The government isn't good about being precision with their cuts.
Well, I mean, think about
They're
it. Just think
not.
about being a VA person. I'm here. I'm a VA person. I'm a receptionist. I'm a patient. I wasn't trained to be a detective to figure out insurance fraud
Right.
but that's their responsibility too.
Right.
Like they spend half their time trying to figure out who's scamming.
And so many people were upset about my episode about veterans scamming the system, which is my point, because they're not good at it. Do you know the only people who can really fix this? Veterans getting out and having the integrity to say, this is what's wrong with me, and this is all that's wrong with me.
When you incentivize it,
I want to be compensated or fixed for what was broken. Love it. Nothing more, nothing less.
right?
They won't even fix him. He walks with a cane.
Who walks with a cane?
He has to.
I do if I want people to feel sorry for me. Like if I want to get on the seat in the airplane first, I take that fucking cane with
when
me.
you came in for a cane, I felt so bad that you're up on the third floor. It's like, of course he's up on the third floor.
I don't care. Because it's a good price. And from what I'm hearing on the text here, I could take that Corvette for a ride. I don't know.
You sure can. You absolutely can. All right, we've done it. We've done it for long enough. This is the point of the night where Bo is the big winner, and if he wants to hear Pantera, he gets to hear Pantera, This Love. And we also read the regular chats on the way out instead of super chats.
Someone wrote me and said that the new Sean Ryan has an undercover ATF agent, Chris Bayless, and he read your book, Jimmy, and it saved his life.
Yeah, I talked to him on the phone the other day.
Oh, really?
I'm actually trying to get him to come talk to my class. He's reading Don Quixote right now, and he's going to figure out where to fit in. Yeah, that was a really interesting thing. That guy's been through some things, no?
Yeah.
Did you listen to
30
that?
years of
Yeah, undercover gang work. Yeah. Yeah. For James, we're all wondering, do you have a piss bottle story? I don't know what that's all about.
Rob O'Neill told in a story that he had a piss bottle on the helicopter, which is normal. But then he forgot that he put it in his pocket, and then he cleared the whole thing with the piss bottle, and he got all the way back to Afghanistan with the piss bottle in his cargo pocket. So
okay. No, I did stack up a few by my rack in the little hut I was living in. So I didn't like to get up and waddle out there to the
for sure. I get that. Oh man. Here we go. Oh, that would have been bad. I didn't know Maroon 5 also had a song called This Love.
Oh, no.
So that would have been
that would have been bad.
very different. I don't think Bo paid for that.
Well, he does live in Texas.
Oh gosh. No, do not play that one. Man, I'm telling you, everything is slow tonight. Here we go. All right. TTK JD would invade Cuba for the right couch. You think whether we should or not isn't the question. Do you think he'll finish the hat trick? You think he'll do something about Cuba before he leaves?
I mean, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? That's kind of what he does. I could take Cuba. What the fuck does that mean? Okay, and then what? Right? What, is anybody thinking about 3 or 4 years down the road? Right? Like, yeah, I think so.
I think he will as well. He's not up for re. I don't think he's ever cared about necessarily doing what's good for a re-election. He just does what he wants.
Yeah.
Great live, y'all. Joe Sanders, thank you. Good to see you again. Braden Medlin, I'll be on time next week. Thank you. Buff like Jesus, piss bottles and 50 grenades is how wars are won. T-Bone, get off my Bluetooth. Double G, my hometown, Longview, had an industrial accident with 8 confirmed, presumed 11 dead. Just keep them in your thoughts, please. Oh my gosh.
That's that thing in LA, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
Okay. If we sprayed WD on your head, James, could we bowl a strike?
You fucking asshole. That's not funny.
He didn't come all the way out here to get harassed by you guys.
Yeah, I think that might work. That might work.
Did Jenny really put... Oh, my gosh. D. Fisher, did Jenny really put a dildo in a cookie jar?
That wasn't me.
Okay. All right. I figured you'd figure that.
I heard about it, though.
Graybeard Operator, good to see you back in the chat. He's replying to T. Chambers. I can honestly say from my time with 75th Ranger Regiment, 3rd Group, and some other units, I can honestly say it's not that sexy. It is at times, but it ain't always. Chucky D, just finished coming out of my daughter's art show in her middle school. Next time I'll bring a flask with some FRCC bourbon. Absolutely, nice. Please do. Lost Boy Gray, 24, too old to join the National Guard or military in general? No way. You're in your prime, buddy.
Get after it, buddy.
You're in your prime. Absolutely. Aldo, severe hair loss is the ultimate test of confidence.
Yeah, it's like you don't have a choice. Well, actually, mine just moved to my back, which is really not sexy.
Yeah, I know. I get that. Dusty Go Tigers, James, please tell me you use F-bombs in your class.
I do, and actually, I went to some very famous professors when they gave me that opportunity, and I said, hey, man, what can I, give me some advice? And the best one, they all said the same thing. Just be yourself.
Do you?
If you cuss, And I do, but hey, what I'm really proud of is that a young lady in the class I had this year who was pretty shy actually used the word fucker in class. And I was really impressed. And she introduced me to her parents, which means that they don't hate me, which is really cool.
You need to watch a rooster.
He writes back and says, nice. Trans Tim Kennedy says, yo, as he always does. As he always does. That Bo just texted me and said he's 1,000% right about having that canine. So Bo was a 10th group, Green Beret canine handler as well. I think he's one of the, if not the first Green Beret and training to send a dog out of MFF on the white side. He's done a lot of canine work. He's nice. Great dude.
When I was a free fall instructor at Yuma, it was full of 10th group guys.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they call it a 10th group mafia.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Brandon Bailey, how often do you knife hand students, James?
I don't knife hand.
You don't seem like a knife
hand. I'm not a knife hand.
You're too laid back for this.
I'm not very laid back, but I'm not laid back.
I should say demilitarized.
Yeah, for
possibly.
Sure. Yeah.
Be a better word for it.
Hey, see that kid? Hey, the kid Anthony Annunziata. He's an assault charge with a lacrosse stick. Be careful.
it.
And yeah, he says F-bombs are most definitely thrown in class. Yeah.
Love it. Love
He throws a few,
Man, love that your students are in here supporting you. It's
Dude.
really, it shows.
They're
it shows-
amazing.
It shows the type of.
But that's how
teacher.
they are. They're that way with each other.
Yeah.
And their teachers. Yeah, it's really cool.
Last resort for Brent. Does your former unit still only do deliberate with mandatory requirements of it being at night and ballistic walls? And how does it differ with dev brew? Oh, there's a lot to unpack there, but no, that's not necessarily. We'll do it. We'll do it whenever it requires. Day, night,
Same.
ballistic walls, non-ballistic walls. It all that matters. We have shields. We'll bring ballistic walls if
Do what we gotta
need to.
do.
Yeah, right. Don't get trapped in this box of we can only do this under these certain conditions.
That's a very conventional mindset.
Yeah. Joe Sanders, whole new meaning to curse like a drunken sailor.
Yeah, for sure.
Animal mother could be military science, but I heard a dude who said he was Navy, but not in the Navy per se. Worked EOD
guys do use
sea trained lion.
They do use sea lions. They're EOD tech. Yeah.
I was at the naval. Gosh, I can't remember what it was called. The Navy Developmental Dive Unit. I think that's what it was called.
The experimental dive unit down in Panama.
Experimental.
Yeah, I did that.
Experimental. And so my SF team was going down there. I don't know who set it up, but we went and did a walkthrough of their facilities. And then they were showing us some crazy thing. I mean, and that's how we get our dive charts.
Dude, I rode bicycles underwater for fucking 12 hours with thermometers up my butt. Like that. Yeah,
I saw people doing that
Yeah.
behind glass.
Yeah.
Living, at 100-foot depths, for long periods of time.
You think, oh, I'm only going to be in here 8 hours. All I need is a 3, 2, 1.
Oh gosh. When we were leaving, they're like, "Hey, we need people to do dive things. Are you interested?" By the way, this guy who gave us the walkthrough told me, he goes, I said, are you a diver? Yes. Have you ever done this? Yes, I've also done this. I said, what's the worst thing ever happened to you? He's like, I lost my eyesight for like 4 days once, but it came back. And I was like, okay.
Sat divers are.
Saturation divers, right? Yeah. So at the very end, he goes, "Hey, we're looking for guys. You guys are tactical divers. We need you, and we'll pay you extra." And I forget what it was like, $75 a day. It was not much. And I was like,
Not worth your eyesight.
And I was like, "What is it?" He goes, "We have these, dolphins, that are protecting the bays, and we gotta, we need dolphins. We need guys to come in at
Train
night
against them.
and train against them." And don't worry, they'll have a muzzle, but their job is to basically come hit you. I was like, so I'm gonna get in a Draeger, swim in the middle of the night, and just wait for an 800-pound dolphin with a little padding on his nose to go full force into my side.
Dude, they hit.
Just waiting for it.
They hit like
No, thank you.
the fucking Seattle D line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I thought. You go find something. It ain't. I want to worth $75. You better.
It's frightening.
You better add a couple of zeros.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it
To
comes.
that. Absolutely. Could you imagine, depending how far out you are, but I'm guessing it's a 30-minute to hour infill, and every kick you take, you're waiting for an animal to come spear you?
Yeah.
No.
And the shit they put on them for real ain't padded.
Yeah.
And it's designed to puncture you and then inflate you so that they
Gosh,
Yeah.
so funny. Anyway, James, I hope we didn't disappoint. I told you the recording would be what it is, but the live would be a whole different animal. It would be a lot of fun, and it's
It is
fun,
fun, man. You got a good crew.
And it's exactly, and it's fun because of the community. It's fun because of you guys. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you've done for our country. Thank you everything that you continue to do with raising the next generation of young Americans, and what you do with the K9 work. I just can't thank you enough for coming. I love it.
Appreciate it.
I love it when guys like you come on the show, and I've never met them, and we leave knowing I like that guy. I don't like many people. I like that guy. I could call that guy at any point And
Yeah, man, I hope you come visit me. You'll meet some of the kids. Check it out. Come do a podcast up there.
yeah, this
We could
this
definitely
won't be
do
the
something
last time we
cool.
see each other.
And there's some kids up there that listen to your show before. I'm like, hey, man, what you guys? They're like, fuck yeah, he's cool, right? So
That's awesome. That's so humbling.
thank you. And I think what you're doing is also, I believe, a national asset. And I don't mean to say that in like a, I'm not kissing your ass, but you're having difficult discussions about things that matter with people who clearly give a shit about their country and are passionate. And I think this is the kind of thing that we need a lot more of. And I think if we get the opportunity to engage in these types of discussions, we should invite more people. We should try to make it a community thing. And I think what's really cool about like a person like you is you have these titles, you have these accolades, you would belong to these units, and you use it as a force for good to bring people in to try to help them. And I think that's a great thing. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share, talk about my time. I want people to understand how important those dogs are, man. Like you can't imagine what it's like to go out. Like I did all these missions with the dogs, and then when I lost them, I didn't have them, and I was like, holy fuck, I'm naked. I'm fucking naked. The dogs are such a force multiplier, and they keep people alive. Police officers go home to their families every night. Shooters go home to their families every night. God knows that the dogs sometimes have to suffer, but it is incumbent upon us to, because of what they give us, the safety they provide our personal families, our units, our nation. It is
we owe them some return.
imperative that we got to give them everything they need to be successful before, during, and after.
I agree.
And it's just the duty, it's ethics. And last, I would like to say to your audience, we need you guys who give a shit about this country to be kind to each other and figure out how to move to the next step. And I'm doing my part, and it's clear you're doing yours. I think we all need to do that because it's important. Our country is a special place. And in spite of its blemishes and all of the things that are wrong, nowhere in the world does a guy like me get to stand up in front of a class at Yale University who comes from where I did. Like that only happens in the United States of America.
We talked about that on the recording. Gratitude, gratefulness. And we're you'll get one more chance to say the last word because you are the guest. Magnet, what do you got for us?
Oh man. Oh gosh. Thank you guys so much. This community is so great, and I appreciate Brent, everybody for having me on and being able to do this. The shirt bonus, like you guys are the ones that created them, and I can bring them to you guys. The firearms that I make is only for you guys and people like Brent and Jimmy, for me to be able to make them. And if you guys want to check them out, lionarmsusa.com, and my Instagram is lion_arms. Thank you guys so much.
Do it.
Nice.
Drew.
I want to thank Jimmy for coming out tonight. Really appreciate it. Really enjoyed it. The recording was great. You guys check us out at Truth in the Dark podcast. Doing a live every Sunday night so far, 7 p.m. You guys have asked about tongues. So we're going to talk about tongue speaking, what the Bible talks about that, and then answer all your random Bible questions this Sunday night live. Truth in the Dark podcast. Check it out.
Jimmy.
Yeah,
anything?
man. Two things I'm going to say about the dogs again. Spike's Canine Fund, any little bit is helpful. And I promise you, your money is well spent there. And the last thing I want to talk about, we talked about mental health a little bit. Mm-hmm. I've run across this recently, a guy who's a former hockey player who knows some people with some head injuries and had some psychological issues. He's got veterans. And he approached me and said, Jimmy, would you use this and check it out and see if it works and is helpful? It's an app. It's called Check-In. And when you set it up, you put people in there that if you forget to check in, it will alert them and they'll check in on you. So like I can use it with buddies that I know are struggling. We both, and I can hear that they're doing it, or I can see that they're struggling, and I can call them because a lot of us aren't going to ask. But if we put something into the app that's random and there's a group, now we know somebody needs help. This thing is amazing. And every day it tracks you, and it does graphs. You can see, you can put journal notes in there about, hey, this is what was going on today. This is why this affected me. And I think this is like when we talked about after actions. I think the check-in app gives you an ability to put some perspective on how you're really doing over a long period. I think this is something that you can do as a friend group or a team, a school, a church, whatever. It helps you take care of each other in ways that guys aren't going to come up. There's a 1-800 suicide. Nobody, they're not going to do that. They're going to want to have somebody that they know
Yeah.
and trust. And I think this is a really good way to help that happen. The check-in app, check it out.
You got it.
Cool.
Guys, next week is Thursday is the first Thursday of the month, which is ironically enough the only one we guarantee, and we do one basically every Thursday night. But it's a big one because that's where we're giving away the panos. Join the Patreon, and you'll find out who wins it next Thursday. See you guys then.